Well, Coach, obviously, start this week. It's winter.
have covered with Country Financial is everything from the ground up.
Life insurance, home insurance, and auto insurance.
Country Financial's been great for us, 3 kids and houses and cars and a business, and it's very comforting to know that Country Financial's in our corner.
It's important to me to know that not only am I insured, I'm insured with a reputable company.
Our experience with Country has always been stress-free. They go above and beyond to help our clients.
They take care of what matters most to me.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Union Tuttle Stadium on the campus of Union High School for the opening round of the 2025 OSSAA 6A1 playoffs between the Norman Tigers and your Union Redhawks. The OSSAA would like us all to remember why we're here. While the goal today is to win, the purpose is so much greater. This is about the student athletes growing as people, and that's what the OSSAA serves to protect. Learn more at protectthepurpose.com. And now get on your feet for Union Varsity Cheer, Palm, and High Steppers. Tonight, in recognition of Veterans Day across our country, would like you to have served. Would you that have served in the United States Army, United States Navy, United States Marine Corps, United States Air Force, United States Coast Guard, the Oklahoma National Guard, and the Oklahoma Air National Guard, please stand. Thank you for your service. At this time, we ask that everyone to please rise if you're able and remove your hats as members of the Union High School Air Force Junior ROTC present the colors and remain standing for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rattling, the bombs bursting in
That is our national anthem here at Union Tuttle Stadium as the playoffs begin tonight in Oklahoma high school football. Good evening. Welcome into Union Tuttle Stadium here as Union will take on Norman. I'm Rick Corey along with Dave Davis. Jeff Johns rejoins us tonight as well on the sidelines. And two teams, Dave, when you look at it, are so remarkably similar. Union 3-4 in district, 6-4 overall. 4-4 in district for Norman North, and then 4-7 or 7-4 overall. This team has been very much a run-based team, but they found a quarterback lately who is playing his tail off.
Yeah, they've had 4 different quarterbacks with stats, and the one that we think they're going with tonight is going to be number 2, Crew Knowles, probably one of the best athletes in 6A1 football all around. He's played running back, wide receiver, safety, defensive back. Maybe he washes the uniforms too. He's also a quarterback. This guy's incredible. Rushing yards, 13 rushing touchdowns, 21 overall touchdowns. He leads the team in interceptions, and he can throw the ball. This is who Union's going to have to stop primarily tonight. Number 7 is number 2. He's the running back who's also awesome. So this is going to be yet another challenge, Rick, for Union's defense. They've held up well, especially the last 3 games, and kept this offense in it. But this defense will be challenged by athletes tonight.
By the way, I got those records backwards. It is 3-4, 6-4 for Union overall, 4-4. For Union overall, and then 4-4 and 6-4 for the folks at Norman. So what Dave was talking about, when you talk about Anthony Johnson, the running back, he's already over 1,000 yards. So he averaged more than 100 a game. But here's the thing to watch more than anything else. Between Knowles and Johnson, they have 32 touchdowns. Everybody else combined has 6. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a point at which they'll say, well, which poison do you pick? Well, you got 2. Literally, you can almost ignore everybody else, or can you? Nobody else has really done a whole lot of damage for Union, trying to find a little momentum because offensively last week it was just unsettled the whole time. Never really got going until that fourth quarter. And I talked to Antonio Graham on the podcast a week, and he said he was really proud of the fight because they did hang in there, and they did find a little rhythm, but they can't start that way tonight.
No, certainly, and you got to put what happened at the end of the game, the Memorial game, behind you, and I think they've done that. So we'll see tonight, but I think with Union, we have to get our running game going. Tate Perry, uncharacteristic. It was just tough. I mean, 54 yards rushing last week. He's had great games, big games. We need a big game from this offensive line, and our run game, I think, tonight to win it. This secondary for Norman, also very good. Their run defense, we hope we can run on them.
And they have been very good defensively. Let's get down to the guy who knows more about this. Jeff Johns was able to talk to begin the day to Antonio Graham, the Union head coach.
Well, Coach, obviously playoffs start this week. It's win or go home, and you get to host the first round right here in the Big House. That has to make you feel good, and a certain level of comfort comes with that, playing against a really good Norman Tigers team.
No doubt, man. Anytime you get a chance to host a playoff game, you at your home, and it's the last one, that's can't be a better feeling than that. And so the more important thing is, you know, what special part is about it, that our kids get to play one last game in front of them. And I don't know if people realize that, but like, even if you don't have a bye or you do have a bye, you only get one home game, you know, and then everything else is neutral sites, you know. And so everybody get to play at home at least one time unless you go on the road. And so, no, I don't take that for granted. That's always one of the goals, always get a home seat and home field advantage during playoffs.
We'll hear more from Coach and Jeff a little later on, but we're about to meet the Red Hawks here. One other interesting number is I did the numbers on the teams these teams have collectively played. They've had some similar opponents. Union has outscored those opponents 115-66. Norman 107-34. I mean, it's so close between these two, and again, they have pretty much the same thing when it comes to strengths. Right now, let's go meet the Red Hawks.
Football campaigns will be remembered as the pivotal season when they march back to the top.
Touchdown, Union!
Taking a claim on the 21st century.
Touchdown! The state champions for 2004. And that'll do it. They will pump up the crowd and win the 2005 state championship.
Left side end zone touchdown.
And the celebration is on. Your 2008 state champions.
Thomas Robertson takes it 76 yards for a touchdown. Their second consecutive Class 6A championship.
Hands up, goes a lateral back to Weaver and Lexford. Put in the end zone, he's there. Touchdown! For the U, a three-peat.
There's the exclamation point. Union going for a fourth straight state championship.
It's hard to believe it's been since 2011. They were loaded, without a doubt.
Good evening and welcome to a new era of Union High School football.
Throws middle of the field. Now he's going to break around the corner. Middle of the field, knocked down at the last minute. It's intercepted on the other direction. Oh, wow, what a hit. Breaks free, he's going to score. Has pressure, going to go down. He stiff arms.
Good evening and welcome to a new era of Union High School football.
Ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet and welcome your Union Red Hawks.
So the Red Hawks take the field for playoff game number 1, and hopefully there will be more. Down on the field with us is Jeff Johns, back from his sabbatical last week. What's the feeling like down there, Jeff? You can always tell. Is the team nervous? Are they tight? Are they freewheeling? Confident? How do they feel?
Guys, I would say the mood tonight is focused. There's a very different vibe on the sidelines than there has been in previous weeks, where some weeks there's a lot of excitement down here. Some weeks there's a little more edge, determination. This week, they're mad. They felt like they got gypped last week, and there were a lot of things that didn't go their way. They felt like they should have had that, and right now they are very determined, and I would not want to be wearing white.
All right, so what Jeff is talking about, and thank you very much, Jeff, is how that game ended. Yeah. And the next morning, the director of officials in Tulsa, Ethan Rowland, had sent me a text, and he sent me the outline of the rule. And I had a conversation with him. You go back and forth on that rule, you could still find ways to say that was the wrong call. Yeah. You can also find ways to say that was the right call. And nobody blames anybody. When I talked to Antonio this week, the only thing he was disappointed about was they never let me talk to the officials after what had happened. It was an onside kick that got touched. They called illegal batting. After not calling illegal batting, gave the ball back to the Edmond Memorial, and then that was that pretty much ended the game. So I think there probably is a little bitterness about last week, Dave.
Yeah, and I think so, because it looked to me like they gave the Edmond Memorial coach the opportunity to talk, and so that was the issue for me, was that it was a conference with the officials that they, I believe, kind of included the coach in. But regardless of that, it's still a home playoff game. You're going to be, whoever the winner of this plays Bixby next week. It would have been Jenks if we would have won that game, but we're still here with a home playoff game, a unique opportunity for this team.
Let's field with a kickoff. This one is going to be taken, and that is going to be Bobbitt, who's at the about 7-yard line. Got a lot of room. There are already 2 flags down, though. He's still on his feet across the 30. He'll go out of bounds around the 34-yard line. He was run out of bounds right there by Braden Drupal, and that will be the tackle there. But I don't think there's any question, Dave, those are coming back.
Yeah, and this is something I'm going to be watching, because remember, the games that Union's lost, BA and Edmond Memorial, tons of penalties, tons of holding, and big early drives by Tay Perry, big runs by Tay that were wiped out in the last 3 weeks because of holding. That's going to have to be cleaned up tonight.
That's one of the things that we also had a conversation with Coach about, and he said, sometimes it's an effort play. Yep. Sometimes it's a guy just gets his hands too far outside. I played the position. I know it's not easy. The rules have changed enough that if you keep your hands inside, a lot of times you won't get called. But when you go to the west side, you're going to get called more often, I guarantee it. And when they come over here, it might get called on them more often.
Yeah, you were counting, I think, 9 holdings in 2 games. Yeah. I mean, it's just a lot, and whether they're clean or not, that cannot happen tonight. We cannot have negative plays on penalties in a playoff game like that.
Crew Knowles will be the quarterback. Behind him, Anthony Johnson, the very dangerous running back, 1st and 10 at their own 15 for Norman. We'll get this playoff game underway. Knowles will keep it, and here he goes. He's forward to around the probably 17, maybe the 18. And once, you tell you who else? Tucker Cook is in there. He's on the bottom of that one. And then Also down at the bottom, that was Silas Cozart, who has been so good lately.
Silas Cozart just got some offers coming in. Northeastern State, congratulations. That young man leads this team in sacks. It's going to be really important to get in the backfield and disrupt things with Crew Knowles. He's not a super experienced quarterback.
Knowles back to throw. Here comes the blitz, and he is lit up. Oh, my. Knowles never had a chance, and Tucker Cook took his chin out. Cozart was there again as well. That's a loss, and I'm going to call it 5. It'll be now at the 12-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and 13. Watch the replay. Boom. Ooh. I mean, he lit him up and ran right through one of the blockers to get there. So that's a good way to start for this defense. But now you have to keep them away from the first down yardage. 3rd and 13. They need the 25 for Norman.
Watch Kane Brackney being the spy. This is what we did against Norman North, spying the quarterback, number 4.
Let's also see if they get after him because he has thrown some interceptions. They will bring Brackney on the blitz. Here goes Knowles, and if he gets outside, he's dangerous, but he'll be corralled from the back. And that was Brackney who corralled him from the back to get him down. Now, also, in making him cut back to the inside was Rayon Williams, and that's going to be a 4th down and about 8. And unless they fake it, Norman will kick this thing.
Yeah, their punter, they've gone back and forth. They had Hartsock as their punter. 25 is their punter now. In the Mustang game in Halloween 2 weeks ago, he had a couple 15-yarders. He's really back and forth. We're going to see what happens, but he came out tough in the Mustang game, and it really cost him. Let's see here.
Ian McGee will kick this thing away, or McKee, and they came after him a little bit. Stone Turner is going to call the fair catch and had to move a little bit more than he wanted to, and then there's a late flag. Stone made a nice fair catch call, and that flag was thrown from behind Stone. So maybe somebody on the way down clocked somebody we couldn't see, Dave?
I'm wondering if Stone, they're going to give an unsportsmanlike for running after the fair catch. That's kind of what the ref looked at him after he kind of started taking off toward the sideline. I'm curious to see.
But he was on the run when he caught the ball.
Return team. 10-yard penalty from the
They're going to call that on Union and make it a 10-yard penalty. Huh. If you have to run to catch the ball. All right, Jeff, what did you hear?
There were 2 blockers right in front of Stone. Both of them took their man to the ground. It honestly probably could have been called on either of them, but I think they called it on the near side of the field.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I didn't think it was Stone necessarily, but that will back Union up. And Davis has happened here in the last few weeks. They have occasionally kind of shot themselves with penalties. And Norman did the same thing on their first possession. So 9:58 to go, no score, and Union will have it for the first time.
Dylan Taylor ended up throwing an interception last week, but had 171 yards, decent completion percentage. It was been so hard against the elite defenses for us to move the ball, and I'm curious to see if we're just going to really hammer the run game and test them early in the run game. As we know, their defensive backs on Norman are fantastic, and they can play man.
And there's some big boys up front here as well. First down, they will hand to Tay. And he is going to crunch it up inside just past the 40. I think they'll give him the 41. And the middle of that defense all there. One guy who's got a lot of tackles for this team is Oakley Carruthers, which, by the way, is a fantastic name.
Oh, so many good
names. That guy, and you can see Tay right here kind of moving the pile. Oakley Carruthers is a rich dude with a butler, isn't he? I mean, Mr. Carruthers, your car's ready. Maybe he owns the Oakley sunglasses thing. It's a fantastic name.
He's getting out of the limo pregame for sure. That's Oakley.
2nd and 7 now for the Redhawks. Taylor will look for the call. Again, McCrary's to the left. Turner in the slot. Here to the right. Hand off to Tay again. Here he goes. Tay makes one miss. Midfield still on his feet. Got hit from behind around the 45. It was a dangerous play on his legs. Jaden Spencer was the guy who made the tackle. But that one, if you watch the replay here, accounts for about 27 or so.
Nice cut back by Tay. That's going to be key tonight. This is a good defensive line, and the defense is working for Norman if your linebackers and defensive tackles are leading in tackles, and they are. All their stats are in the right place for this defense, and it's going to be big if we can get runs like that.
Now to Norman 44, 1st and 10 for the Redhawks. They have not thrown it yet. Perry moves to the left. Now Turner in motion. Fake to Turner. Oh, they've got a man deep. Can they get it there? They can't. They throw it out instead short. And that's going to go out of bounds, Tay, at around the 35-yard line. They had McCrary, 10 yards behind anybody, and I don't think Dylan Taylor ever looked at it.
Yeah, McCrary doesn't have a touchdown, and there's been a couple like that where McCrary's been open, but I got to give credit to Taylor, too, because that was a broken play. Stone Turner, the motion got messed up. and gets it to Tay for almost a first down. That could have gone really bad right there.
It's still a nice play, but boy, it's unfortunate. When you got those opportunities in the playoffs, you need to take them. Norman shifts that defensive line. Toss to Turner. He's got some room on the outside. Stone, 30. He's inside that, and of course the flag has to come out because there will be a holding on the corner. Union to around the 26-yard line, but that will not matter. It will come back. Tackle in there made by Noah Holzer. Normally when that flag doesn't come down when they first hit the corner and they don't get the tackle, I figure you're good.
Yeah.
But I think they got one of the receivers there.
It looks like he'd already gotten 3 blocks.
Offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
I know why they don't call numbers on players in high school. I understand it. But it would sure be nice if we had some way to know, and not to blame anybody, but just to be able to watch for things.
To understand the play.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You want to know who was called on. You can't see everything. You'd like to be able to go back and look. So it'll be 2nd and 9. Redhawks need the 34 of Norman.
Tight end Luke Wood checking in.
They'll toss it once again, and this goes Tay in the slot. Tay's going to be across the 40 and down to around the 36. So he got about 8 of that back, and Stone Turner is getting a talking to from the official. I don't know if Andy will have that on playback, but Kingston Whittam, another really nice name, was driven all the way to the 50 and then just buried like a seed. It was Stone Turner who did it.
There's been a lot of enthusiastic blocking that the referees have called already. It's already getting chippy out there, and here in this 3rd and short, you need this. Union in the losses have not been able to overcome these holding penalties. This is going to tell me a lot this drive about how we're going to go tonight holding-wise.
And even if they don't make this, I fully expect it's 4-down territory. Taylor has Tay move a little to the right. Tay Perry straight ahead. He's got more. Here we go. Tay's off to the races. 20, 15, cut back. Down inside the 10. Tay taken down at around the 7-yard line. Crew Knowles is the man who made that tackle. And that puts Union in the red zone right there. Here's the replay.
This is what we were not able to do against Edmond Memorial. Their defensive front and their linebackers are so good that they just kept contained. They kept contained, and now we're breaking that outside contain. That is absolutely critical to our run game, and it's great to see Tay get loose as, once again, proud dad sitting about 5 rows in front of us. This is going to be fun.
He's already checked in a couple of times today. So 1st and goal now for the Redhawks. No score in this game. Norman and Union, first possession for Union. Norman went 3 and out on their first. Again, Perry to the right. They're going to hand to Tay again. And he bounces off one, and here he goes. Tay Perry into the end zone, and what a play by Tay Perry. He was met by Noah Holzer in the hole, and he just said, no, thank you. Bounced off of him, skidded into the end zone, and it is 6-0 Redhawks.
Holzer, one of their leading linebackers, tackles for losses. He's a leader in some of these categories. And look at Tay just bouncing off of Holzer. Like we said, Rick, these are big, flat-bellied, fast dudes out there for Norman. And Tay's just patient. And that's a Tay and an offensive line drive. A big win for them, getting those offensive line guys that win early.
Absolutely. And out there right now with the offense is Skylar Moorman, but they will now run Litchfield out and kick the extra point. Plenty of time on the play clock. 6:46 to go in this first period. 6-0 Union, trying to make it 7. An impressive drive and a couple of great impressive runs by Tay, who I got to think is going to end up with a nice scholarship. Thompson is the holder. The kick is up, and that is easily through. So with 6:46 to go in this first period, each team's had a possession. Only one's had a touchdown. It's the Redhawks of Union. 7-0 Union. Back in a moment here on the Union Sports Network.
That Union touchdown is proudly sponsored by Whataburger. Remember to pick up your Union Football Game Day program. Each week features a different cover, so collect them all. Programs are $5 and proceeds are donated to the Special Olympics. Game Day programs may be purchased near the stadium entrance on both the home and the business side. This Union kickoff is sponsored by OK Autos Direct.
Back here at Union Tuttle Stadium, it is playoff football. They want to light it up red tonight. Union now leading 7-0 over the Norman Tigers. Rick Corey along with Dave Davis. Jeff Johns on the sidelines, and Christine Stigler is up here in the booth. She is doing some stats and yardages and things like that for us tonight, kind of mixing things up. Richard Johns has had some family issues and been a little under the weather. I won't tell you what he texted me, because it's not pleasant. No, you don't want to know.
the TMIs.
Kickoff from Litchfield. It will go near the out-of-bounds line, but it was taken there by Boblet, which was not a great decision, and he is bottled up immediately. And look at that. It was Tay Perry who got first contact down there. Union starters play special teams. That will only go to the 18-yard line, and the Tigers will start there.
Can't keep Tay off the field, Rick, and we've seen it all season long. This is a guy who we just got to think is end up going to be playing at the D1 level somewhere. I mean, you know, we've had so many great running backs in 6A1 this year, and he is among that group. The other one of the other guys is number 7 on the other side. A lot of kind of unsung heroes that are under the radar now that can continue to be if this playoff goes on for either of these teams.
Absolutely. You watch this offensive line from Norman roll out there, and they are huge people. Now, they don't list sizes and weights anymore because you'd lose the football game if you told somebody what your tackle weighed. So that's a little silly. But here comes the blitz, and if he breaks, and he just did. Johnson has a lot of room, 25, 30. He'll be up to around the 33-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 13, and it'll be a first down for the Tigers. And Union came with the all-out blitz, so they had the exact right call, Dave, offensively, because you can see it right there.
Yeah, they zigged, we zagged, we went right, and he went left in the opposite, actually, in that case. But good pursuit. Again, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Tucker Cook. Already a sack and a great downfield pursuit. Ran 25, 30 yards to catch up to him.
Yeah, that one was much like Top Gun. Where'd he go? Where'd who go? And he was out, and he was gone. I think we have an equipment issue. They're going to bring Heckard in and take Oliver Smith off. Also coming in to play corner right now is going to be Julian Williams.
Haven't called his name yet this year.
First and 10. Knowles will keep it himself, and here he goes. He's off to the races. Knowles caught from behind, thank goodness. Whoa, Knowles all the way to the 45-yard line. And if it weren't for Rion Williams, he'd have gone a lot further. He got 14 more, and it's another first down.
They're a reason why Rion is second only to Tucker in pretty much every major category defensively. It's his pursuit. It's his takedown ability as a wrestler. He just knows what to do. And we put him out there at running back as well. Another guy like Tay, like Rion, they can play both sides of the ball. So valuable this time of year.
They don't list Johnson's size or Knowles either, but they are not small guys. Knowles runs to the right. Here comes Cozart. He's going to have to hurry. And he fires that thing, and it's a very poor pass. Falls incomplete. He had a player trying to curl back to it right around the 45-yard line. Coverage there by Dejon Gaines, but he just threw a prayer up there, Dave.
And we got a hand on it, too. I do think we affected that throw. I couldn't tell if it was either Silas or Ian. Ian has been in the backfield a lot in kind of that star, almost nickel position. I think we got a hand on that one. Also, we're going to get more into Crew Knowles, but he was really injured 2 weeks ago in the Halloween game against Mustang, limping around the field. I'm watching him tonight to see if I can tell if he's recovered or not, but he was severely limping in that Mustang game when he pressed into duty as a quarterback, so we'll see how he develops tonight.
You know what they brought him off for? Because they just brought him off again. It was the length of his pants.
Okay.
I swear to you. And now a penalty. That's going to be a procedure. No, it's going to be offsides against Union. While we get that, let's get down to Jeff. Jeff?
Yeah, guys, both times it has been, they've come off, pulled their pant legs down over their knee. It's the knee pad issue that we've seen hit and miss. I can tell you, maybe 50% of the players on the field right now have their knees covered. So I don't know how hard they're going to cover this rule, but right now they want to make a point.
Well, they told us all year, at the beginning of the year, they were going to do it all year long, and we have not seen it, so we'll see. Second down and 2. Johnson is stacked up almost immediately. Kane Brackney with a tremendous job. They might give him a football's length, but it's going to be around 3rd and 5.
A lot of backfield penetration. Not only is Kane able to spy, but something that's nice about having a Kane Brackney, besides being 6'2" and 225 and coming here from Colorado, is that he's pass coverage, he's run coverage, and there's really no drop off. He can really, really do it all. Gary Heckard now really upset coming off with an equipment issue. Now the players are really getting frustrated getting sent off at this point.
It's almost like a game right about now. And I'm looking out there, and the tailback's knees are uncovered. Quarterback's knees are about half uncovered. All the offensive linemen's knees are uncovered for the most part. Oh, well, here we go on the 3rd and 5. Knowles fires it right side. It is caught and off to the races, down around the 40, inside that to around the 36-yard line. Noah Holzer with a tremendous catch because there was pressure coming right in front of his face, and that is going to be a first down.
I mean, nice coverage. It was just a really, really good pass. Crew Knowles is really a short yardage guy for the most part, and that one right there, it kind of got loose, but we were on number 11. It was hard to tell there, but we were on number 11. Just a nice catch, a nice throw.
It was Rayon who was on him right there, 19 yards. They'll hand to Johnson, and Johnson cannot get around Rayon Williams. He's going to go down for maybe a loss of a half yard, and it'll be second down and a little bit more than 10. as Rion has really come on late in this year, too. And he's a guy that Coach told us before the season, Dave, that they were really going to count on. He had to kind of step up and be that leader, if you will. And he has been, and there's no question. I think they've got even more from Rion than they could have imagined. He's been fantastic. Here comes the blitz again, and Knowles is going to have to hurry. He got around a man. Now he's inside the 40. 35. He's going to be out around the 33. Kane Brackney chased him out way over there. Silas there as well. But he didn't get a lot. It's going to be 3rd down and now about, I'm still going to call it 5, actually, so he didn't get much at all. We're just getting in the backfield constantly, and this is really good. As good as Crew Knowles is, number 2, he has not played a lot of quarterback. He's been a receiver. I mean, he has 500 receiving yards. He has 21 total touchdowns. He's a rusher. So getting a guy who's newer at the quarterback position at this level of football and getting him flustered is going to be key tonight. And he only completes around 50% of his passes, which is not great. They're going to hand to Johnson, and he breaks 3, and he's got even more room. But Johnson is tackled from behind. Well, not from behind. Castellanos got into his ankles, and he just slid down. I think they'll mark him at the 22-yard line. That'll be a 1st down. Anthony Johnson's big, and he's fast, but he's a lot of power, and that's what I've noticed about him. He's really won them games. I mean, they were losing to Moore about 6 weeks ago, and then they rip off a 99-yard drive to win the game. Anthony Johnson, it was all Anthony. I mean, he was 60 yards. So look at the thighs on that dude. Knowles going to have to hurry now. He's going to get out of there and run. Makes 1 miss, but he's not going to get everybody to miss. And Tucker Cook said no thank you, grabbed him at the 20. That'll be a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. Just like that Mustang game, Cruz is standing in there. Crew Knowles is standing in there, but he's taking hits early in this drive, this extended drive. He's taken a lot of hits so far, and as he was, walking around, just doubled over in pain on Halloween on that Mustang game. The more hits he takes, Union is out there, and they know the situation with Crew. Big set of substitutions for the Redhawks on this 2nd and 8. 7-0 Union. Now a direct snap to Johnson, and he didn't get a lot out of it. He got forward to, I think, probably the 18. So that's only a gain of 2 or 3. And some of those newer guys just went in and made some of those tackles. Rocky Bright was one of those guys in there, and I think Christian Teehee is out there playing a little defense too. Yeah, both sides of the ball. Great to see Terrence Evans, big number 93, along with Demario Marzette. 2 guys that haven't got to play a lot because they're kind of nose tackles, but putting Marzette and Evans out there together along with Brandon Ferguson, all the beef, this is a really interesting lineup we haven't used a lot this year. So 3rd down, a big 3rd down and about 6 for Norman. They're going to hand it off to Johnson. No, they're not. It's a little bit of a trick play. They hand it off on the inside, and skirting into the end zone was number 11, Noah Holzer. And that is good for a touchdown from 17 yards away, and it's now 7-6. That was a great play, and it fooled me, certainly. I'm sitting here, I'm looking at Anthony Johnson, and let's take a look at this replay. Yeah, the fake handoff, but the second guy comes right behind, almost that triple option style deal, and perfectly executed. What that was, essentially, was, a shovel pass, but they handed it. Yeah. Now, the difference is, if it's a shovel pass and it hits the ground, it's an incomplete pass. Handing it like that close to the line of scrimmage is dangerous, and these guys have lost fumbles. Now, not a lot. They've lost 4. They've only put it on the ground 6, but that was well executed. On for the extra point, Ian McKee. Good snap. McKee puts it up, and it appears to be right down the middle, and it is. So with 1:55 to go in this first period, we got a good one here. Union 7, Norman 7. Redhawks will get it next here on the Union Sports Network.
Union Varsity Cheer would like to thank their season sponsors. Tonight's game is being streamed live at unionsportsnetwork.com. Watch the replay anytime and watch other Union Varsity sports on demand at unionsportsnetwork.com. Attention fans, of the more than 8 million students who play high school sports across the country, less than 7% go on to play in college, and less than 2% earn a scholarship. But no matter the outcome of...
We're back here at Union Tuttle Stadium. Rick Corey with Dave Davis. We've got Jeff Johns down on the field here as Union and Norman are tied at 7 apiece. Dave and I had done some research. These two teams, believe it or not, don't have the deepest of history. If you go to the other side, Union's played Norman North a lot. They, in the past, well, it's been a few years, but Moore and Southmore and Westmore were consistent opponents. Mustang it has been too. But they have not played this Norman team an awful lot. It's been only a couple of times in the last decade or two.
Yeah, 2023 beat him 65-0 here. 2022 went there, beat him 42-28. Onside here, nicely done.
Union just picked that thing right out of the air and actually had a little bit more room to go make something happen. And the guy who grabbed it was Pat Thompson, the receiver. And Pat's got some shake. I mean, he probably should have just kept going with that thing. But it'll be at the 40, good field position for the Red Hawks. Down to Jeff on the field.
Just a slight update on the equipment issues that have happened. So both corners have come off, and then Gary Heckard came off a second time. That time it was for a patellar band that they put on for patellar tendinitis.
Yeah.
There has never been a call telling people they can have it, but now the refs are saying you have to have a doctor's note and it has to be approved by OSSAA.
Okay.
You need a doctor's note to be injured? I'm sorry, I'm going to find that one funny. And I'm not going to try to pick on the officials. They have a job to do. They just called another flag right there. That's going to be a false start on Union. But that's something I'll clear up with Ethan Rowland tomorrow. As Dave and I know, beginning of the year, they told us unquestionably they were going to call it all year long. They haven't. But it's not, I don't think, on purpose. I think it's human nature. You haven't called it that much in the past. It's a brand new edict. But obviously going into the playoffs, someone said, guys, pay attention to that.
Yeah, the important thing with equipment issues is they're going to send you off first and sub you out. They will only penalize you if you don't have enough players to come back on, essentially, is what we were told. It will not be a flag, but you will have to come off for a play.
First and 15 now for the Red Hawks at their own 35 during the end of the first period. Quick throw to the right side. Stone, if he can make one miss, has some room. Cannot. Did not get the block he needed out front from Pat Thompson. There were two guys out there. One of those was the quarterback, Crew Knowles, who made the play, and so that's going to be a loss of a couple. 2nd and 12.
Another penalty flag. Wait to see here. Union twice started great field position.
Offense. The penalty is declined. 2nd down.
So Union again early with penalty foul trouble, if you will.
Yeah. And Union started at the 37 last time, started at the 40 this time, went backwards both times on penalties. Right now we're getting the field position. We just have to lock in, eliminate these penalties, and somehow overcome them. Declining could be an opportunity. You don't go back to 10 yards, and I'd take 2nd and 17 over 1st and 27. I would.
And it is 2nd and 17 at this point. Taylor back. He's going to have to get up in the pocket. Does till last time. Fires that thing wide open out there. Caught by Stone at midfield. Back to the inside. Cannot get away. Still trying to get away. But that's a pretty good tackle. And now there's a flag out there as well. They had a host of people out there. The guy who eventually made the tackle was Kingston Whittam. And that is a 1st down, so it's good for about 20. Let's see what the official calls here. This will be interesting. Oh, he's pointing Union's way.
Norman also reacting. Their coach doesn't look happy.
Personal foul. Face mask. Offense. 15-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Now, the explanation here, I wonder if Stone got somebody's face mask. Let's watch the play here. Andy and his crew doing such a great job of the replays. Let's see if Stone pushed off a face mask. Great job by Dylan.
Just wide open. Stone getting open. So hard to cover that.
Yeah, he got his face mask right there and is pushed off. So that will come back. It'll be 2nd down, though, and now just a little bit over 11. So let's see if the Red Hawks can overcome this. Taylor with 23 on the play clock, just now trotting back in. Someone once did a study of how many yards they run going on and off to get play calls, and it's way more than you and I have in 6 months, I'll tell you that.
Get their step meter going.
2nd down and 11 now in a 7-7 game, just clicking under a minute to go, first quarter. Union and Norman. Quick throw left side, and that ball goes right through the hands. I believe that was it was Abington, right? And unfortunately for Abington, he had a couple of defenders out there very, very close to him. Chase Morales was one of those. The other guy was Drew Hildebrand. And he kind of looked at them a little more than he did football, so it'll be 3rd and 11.
Abington, one of our speedsters, a guy that we've fed the ball to a lot more in the last 3 games, up to almost 200 yards receiving when he only had a handful of catches through the first several games.
Red Hawks need the 50 for 1st down. And now there is somebody moved in there, and I'm not sure. I think that was Norman who moved this time.
Encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty.
Demarcus Davis, it looks like, is the guy who jumped there.
Both bands will refrain from playing drums or the horns while play is going.
I have no idea what he said. It sounded pretty much like he was just talking, but We're going to move that football forward to around
I
the
can tell you.
44. All right, so Jeff, what was that mumbo jumbo?
He said both sets of fans have to refrain from playing drums or horns during play.
Well, he was right about that.
The cacophony.
It is already, they had to warn a band up in the Oklahoma City area a couple of weeks ago. Third down for Union. Quick throw to the inside. Stone Turner, lots of room. Here goes Stone. 45, 40, got some more room. Oh, the 35-yard line just tripped up. And I mean, if it were not for an ankle tackle by Maslin Rosales, he is gone. And that is a first down at the 35-yard line of Norman, 22 yards.
Masterful by Dylan Taylor, avoiding the rush, backing up, drawing all the defenders in. Everybody's eyes is on Dylan Taylor, and that's the second time this drive. One of them was a penalty. Second time this drive that the secondary has lost Stone Turner. And if you lose Stone Turner, you are going to be paying all night long. He's been wide open out there.
That would be just fine with us. First and 15, or 10, pardon me, I'm used to what happened. First and 10 for the Redhawks at their own 35. And whistles again, and flags again. And this time it'll be illegal procedure against Union. These guys are going to have to go to the fabric store at halftime. They are going to wear out the flags. You can see the outstretched arms out there from Bryson Duff.
Yep.
Like, what did I do?
Yeah, and this is another lesson that a young team is learning, is that you have to overcome this, and you can't get frustrated with all the equipment thing. And I know it was rough with the patellar wrap and everything. You can't get frustrated, and you have to keep moving on, because you're winning this game on the field. I mean, it's 7-7, but we are better than them right now, and we have to realize that and continue to move forward.
At the 40-yard line of Norman, first and 15. Taylor hands. Tay Perry explodes through, puts his shoulder into one, drives him forward to the 33-yard line. So that's a gain of 7. And there was not a whole lot of question that Tay Perry was going to put the shoulder down and whack some guys, and he did. So that ends the first quarter. It is 7-7 Union Norman. That's what the playoffs are supposed to be like. We'll come back with the second quarter next here at Union Tuttle Stadium on the Union Sports Network.
Football fans who want a t-shirt, courtesy of Jiffy Lube Tulsa. Tonight's game is an official OSSAA Road to State Spotlight game. Please direct your attention to midfield, as the OSSAA would like to recognize one of our game sponsors, Jiffy Lube of Tulsa. Jiffy Lube Tulsa is a proud supporter of the OSSAA and will award one $4,000 scholarship and 3 $1,000 scholarships through their What Drives You program. To apply, simply put in 500 words or less, what drives you. For more information, visit JiffyLubeTulsa.com. In recognition of their support, Justin Noble, representing the OSSAA, presents an official game ball signed by both Coach Rocky Martin and Coach Antonio Graham.
I think they like it.
Receiving the game ball for this evening.
So we're back here at Union Tuttle Stadium. Dave's talking about his family who are down front, and they're having a good time. Did they get their popcorn and hot dogs?
They did, Rick, and look at this. They're eating this popcorn with a vengeance. I'm showing him a picture here in the press box. Yeah, they're loving it. It's their second game. The first game was the rain in the first quarter of Westmore, and so they're enjoying their time tonight. Beautiful weather.
It is a gorgeous night tonight. We'll get the first quarter stats here in a few minutes. We will begin the second period at 7-7. Union will have a second down in about 8. They'll be at the 33-yard line of Norman, now going toward the 25 for that first down.
What I was saying earlier is that we're winning the battles in the trenches, really, and what's happening is they're not blitzing a ton. They're bringing a lot of 3- and 4-man pressure, trying to drop back a little bit, and on that one, that LJ run, it was beautiful. We picked up a great block by our right guard and just went.
And Union jumped again, and this time they absolutely jumped. That was Jordan Johnson. And Jordan was going to pull, and as an offensive lineman, when you're going to pull, a lot of times you lean. The other thing is you want to get that first step and get out of the way, because LJ is going to be up your tail, and you got to get there, and they did not. So they continue to make it a little harder on themselves. This will mark the ball back to around the 38, and it will be second down and around 13.
What I like what I'm seeing so far is in the Broken Arrow game and in the Edmond Memorial game, when we were getting these penalties, the drives would just fizzle. It would just stop, and we just weren't able to overcome it. And right now, we're still getting positive yardage. Despite the penalties, we're still able to take 1 step back, 2 steps forward.
Norman jumps into a bare front, and they toss the ball inside to Evington, and he got forward for about 2. They'll mark him at the 36-yard line. That was a really good call, with Norman jumping into really the double eagle, moving both those defensive tackles down next to the center, expecting a run. They got one, but they got one outside, and now it's a more makeable 3rd and 11.
And that's a play that Union's been trying to do all year long. Those little pop passes, or depending on position of the quarterback, sweeps to try to get Abington and Stone outside, and that was a nice counter.
Dillon is going to have to hurry. Here comes pressure, and he's going to fire it left-handed, and making the catch out there. Oh, L.J. McGee with a fantastic catch, and he goes forward to the 32-yard line, and that's not a first down. But if L.J. hadn't pulled away from a guy who had him dead to rights out there, that wasn't going anywhere. Watch this play, and watch how Dillon doesn't get to flip his hips or shoulders, fires it out there, nearly picked off, and then Kingston Whittam just couldn't get him down.
And that saves a punt, because if he takes a sack, that's a punt. Now, this is a makeable 4th and 6. Absolutely. We have a lot of plays for this. We're very familiar with this situation. If he takes a sack, drives over. 4th
down, 6 to go. Union will need right at the 25-yard line for the first down. 11:15 to go, second period. It is 7-7. Little pressure. They're going to fake the handoff. Dillon's going to have to throw it deep quick. Abington's out there, and he makes the catch for the touchdown. Abington beat Crew Knowles. Dillon Taylor just laid it up as best he could, and that's 6 more for the Redhawks. That's going to take them all the way in 33 yards, and it's now 13-7.
So what would be a good time to have your first career touchdown, Rick? How about week 1 of the playoffs? Abington has been there all year, patient, waiting for that first touchdown. And what we're doing is we're drawing the defensive backfield's eyes into our backfield. All the motion, everything we're doing with Stone, and we continue to beat their safeties open because their eyes are in the wrong place, and we're doing that by design.
And you got to give Taylor a lot of credit. Also give credit in there to, I think it was L.J. McGee, because he blocked a blitzer that would have taken Dillon down. Extra point from Litchfield, and he's been almost automatic. That one was a little odd, but it got there. And with 11:07 to go in the first half, it's 14-7 Union. Redhawks will kick it next here on the Union Sports Network.
That Union touchdown is proudly sponsored by Whataburger. Union Athletic Department, Union Football Booster Club, and the Union Mama Hawks would like to thank the following for their contributions to the Union football program: Dean Atchison, Sherry Anderson, and Longhorn Steakhouse. Union Varsity High Steppers would like to thank their season sponsors.
We're back here at Union Tuttle Stadium. 11:07 to go in the second period. Union leads 14-7 over Norman in the 6A1 first-round playoff game. Rick Corey along with Dave Davis. Jeff Johns is down on the field with us again. A little help from Christine up here in the booth as well with spotting and yardages. And Dave, it's been what we thought. These two teams are similar, and they are doing exactly what we thought to each other. At times, they're doing things better than the other guy, but we're going to be like this all game, I think.
I think so. There's just too much talent on this field, and you're talking about a 4 and 5 seed, right? This is a first-round playoff game, and there's just talent everywhere, offensively and defensively. This is going to be a slugfest. Remember that drive, Rick. 32-yard line, 4th and 7. We scored.
Kickoff picked up by Preston Bobbitt, and he'll take it back all the way to the 21, I think. And that's where they'll mark it. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers right there. Union has shot themselves in the foot a bit with penalties. And we would like to get you quarter stats, but they are not available at this time. But I would think, Dave, that this would be pretty doggone even.
I think so. They've had some big runs, and really where they got us was that they had a great play design. I mean, the touchdown that Norman had, credit to the coach. It was a beautiful play design. We had been stopping them. It was hard yardage. We were making Anthony Johnson working for it, and then they pull out. I don't want to say a trick play, but a beautiful design, and that's how they got us. So we'll see what else they have up their sleeve. Again, when you have a quarterback like Crew Knowles who can do it all, that frees up everybody else to do different things that haven't been on tape.
Knowles will have Johnson to his right. Knowles throws quickly to Johnson, and he's going to get hit, but he makes Rion miss. Now, he got taken down. That should have been a loss of about 3, but Rion went in without having a very good base and ran right by him. Fortunately, there were other guys over there, including a guy who's been really great lately, Logan Rowe. And if you watch right here, you see this a little bit too quick on your pace. Rowe turns him back inside, and you got help from the inside, especially big number 93 right there, Terrence Evans.
Love him.
Here comes Knowles again. He's going to have to hurry, and now Knowles is going down. Back at the 7-yard line and taking him down back there, Rocky Bright.
Fourth sack of the year, tied for the team lead for Rocky Bright. That is a backup linebacker who comes in, and we've talked about it all year, Rick, but how many of these guys, our backups, would be starting on other 6A1 teams? We have an embarrassment of riches, and especially at the linebacker spot.
That's the thing, is I don't think there's a backup out there at linebacker. I think they're all starters for the most part. Third down now, and let's see, they need about 20, does Norman. They'll need the 31-yard line. Knowles back. Here comes pressure again, and again, he's going to go down. Yeah, it took a while. Oof. He was stubborn about it. Knowles made a couple of guys miss back at the 5. And finally, once again, Ben Terrence was back there. And once again, Kane Brackney was back there, and he goes down, and they go backwards now to the 7. So a dangerous punt. They're going to kick from right out of the back of their end zone, and Stone Turner will come out to return this.
Watch us trying to go for the block here. Number 25 has struggled. He's really, really been up and down this year. They started the year, I believe, with Hartsock, their tight end, number 3 punting. They switched to 25 for the Mustang game. I'm just saying, I think I saw John Davis coaching up the guys in the kickoff down there. Just watch for tricks up our sleeve here.
That is Ian McKee back to punt this thing away. Stone standing at around the 37-yard line of Norman. McKee almost dropped that. Yep. It is blocked. It is partially blocked, but there's a flag down. I bet they're going to call roughing, but that ball was touched, and if the ball was touched, there's no such thing as roughing. One of the Union players is hurt. It's Oliver from jumping across in front.
Oh, goodness.
This is going to be an interesting call, because if you touch the football, there's no such thing as roughing.
I thought that's what we would do. I thought we would try to bring the house on him, and we did. McKee.
Foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
They called roughing. That ball was blocked. Was it not, Jeff? Am I wrong? Was it touched, Jeff?
You are absolutely right. He was in the face of it. There's no other way the ball gets that level of deflection off to the sideways if not touched. But the referee is telling Coach right now that somehow that ball came underneath the Union player and made it out.
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
Oh, goodness.
And you can see Antonio Graham out there pleading his case. I don't buy that at all. That ball was touched, I sure believe. Here's the replay.
Here it comes.
Let's see. It's really difficult to tell from right there. It might have.
Maybe.
But, boy, that is an absolute break for Norman.
And you got to say, I mean, the referee was right there. I mean, the referee was right there. And it was just obscured enough. But that's just so tough. We should mention Oliver Smith back on the field. Yep. He bounced up.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 22-yard line. They've gotten a bunch of breaks here with the yellow flags tonight. Knowles will hand off to Johnson, and he's hit right in the hole by Kane Brackney. And Johnson, or pardon me, that was Castellanos. Johnson moved him a little bit, and then Castellanos went no, and just shoved him backwards, and there's a little bit of chippiness going on the far side over there between Oliver Smith and Haynes Hartsock. Again, guys with great names.
Yeah. Tight end who goes out wide, too. Haynes Hartsock is a do-it-all guy for this team, and that's what you're going to notice with Norman. Their single digits are just on the field all the time. All their guys are playing two ways out here for Norman, a very short bench.
2nd and 7. They'll need the 32 for the first down. It's a 14-7 Union lead. Johnson, here he goes, and he is off to the races. This is a foot race. Can Oliver catch him? And I think he will. Oliver Smith has him at the 10. Can he get him down? He does at the 5. Brackney down there as well. Oliver Smith ran him all the way down at around the 15-yard line. Watch the play here. That just opens up huge. Nice block by their guard, and away he goes. Brackney never gives up. You can see Kane getting after him.
Here comes Gary.
And it's actually Heckard. Jeff told us it's actually Heckard. You're right. Heckard with a great effort play. And the ball now at the Red Hawk 5-yard line. 70 yards on the run.
4th and forever, punting out of their own zone, and now here.
Knowles is going to run it straight up the middle, and he's got a lot of room. Got it down to about the 1-yard line. Very difficult to stop anybody down here, and they will have 2nd down and 1 to get into the end zone. 2nd and goal. 14-7 Union lead with 7.5 to go here in the second period.
We mentioned Crew Knowles and Anthony Johnson having 32 touchdowns. Their favorite play down here is a quarterback power to the left. They like bouncing their Crew Knowles outside and collapsing the middle.
Ryan Williams would be the guy. There's going to be motion right there. Yep, the quarterback was moving, and the white hat caught that, and that's going to cost him 5.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
He was just leaning, Dave. You could tell the eagerness. He wanted to get going. So Union will take out of there the 355-pound Terrence Evans and replace him with 200-pound Rocky Bright. So they expect them to spread it out a little.
And another thing about Terrence Evans, they're breathing a sigh of relief because he's been getting double-teamed and still getting in the backfield. So giving Evans a little break, but he's been double-teamed all night long.
Second and goal from now the 6. They will break their formation to put a lot of folks in front of Knowles. He tried to bounce it outside, dropped the football. It's still on the ground, and Union has it. Knowles had an opportunity to get it. It bounced away from him and bounced into the arms of, I believe that is Tucker Cook, and it was. Knowles is going to get up slowly. I think he's probably injured again. He had a very difficult time of it. He got smacked, broke one tackle, and then it got knocked out of there. Looked like he had a chance. Watch the replay here. You'll see initially it comes out, he picks it up first, and then he got smacked again, and now the ball's on the ground. Union has it. So a little bit of righteousness there, Dave.
I'd say so. Well, Crew Knowles, I mean, again, that's their favorite play. Quarterback keeper up the middle. They do it on 2-point conversions. They do it inside the 5 all the time. But I'm telling you, Rick, Crew is taking all kinds of hits tonight. He's still getting off the field, doubled over in pain. He's been hanging in there, and he's a tough guy, and he's a baller, but he has been getting hit hard time after time. And we're 7 minutes left in the second quarter.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Union throw it deep fairly soon. 14-7 Redhawks. They now lead, and they have the football at their own 5. Breaking away is Tay Perry. He's all the way up to around the 14-yard line, maybe the 13. Oh, they're going to give him the 12. So we'll call it 5, and it'll be second down and 5. And Tay was touched by everybody on that defense, but he wouldn't go down.
Yeah, great job. I mean, that's what we're doing is we're getting into the second level. We are not getting stopped at the first level at all in our run game. Everything is forward. Everything is positive. It's a great sign early. Would you like a nice drive here? Give our defense a reward, keep us off the field, and just put together a 6-minute drive.
Turner comes to the left. He's in the slot here. Thompson outside of him. Double tights for Union on this 2nd and 5. Taylor will hand once again, and Tay, not any room right there. He'll get driven backwards, but they'll give him forward momentum. And it'll be 3rd down and 5 now.
Yep. I mean, that's the situation where Norman, we know that they can do that. They have the horses to do that, winning the line of scrimmage there. Guessing right. I mean, he's going left, and they correctly guessed that. Linebackers, again, we talk about it, but this defensive line, these linebackers, they have all of the tackles on the team. They have all of the tackles for losses. It is a very strong front 6 that they bring where they don't have to blitz and bring a lot of pressure a lot of times.
3rd and 4 for the Redhawks. They'll need the 17 for the first down. 2 high safeties in here for Norman. They're going to throw it across the middle, and here comes Stone. He makes one miss, and here comes the flag. Turner's going to be across the 30 to the 32-yard line where he just smooth ran over Drew Hildebrand. But there's a flag, and there's definitely going to be a hold, and Jeff tells us that he actually saw that hold, and that one's real, huh, Jeff?
Yeah, absolutely. Right as Stone was coming across, there was a 57 in black, got his hand just around the inside, and it wasn't much. And honestly, if you get your hands inside, that one is not going to get called. It's just so far outside that it's easy to see.
Here's the replay. Excellent job there by Stone.
Yeah,
bouncing that thing back out, yeah.
You could see it. It turned it around there after the play was pretty much done at that point. But these misdirections and these basically reverse passes like that, the blocking has to be really good, and it was just that last second.
3rd and 10 now for the Redhawks. 3-man rush right now for Norman. Taylor with all kinds of time. Firing middle of the field and throws it right to a Norman player who dropped it. Thank goodness that Harris Valentine decided he didn't want that one. It hit him square in the hands, and that's going to be a tie game or a 1-point difference. But that falls incomplete, and it will be time to punt.
It's just everything. It's just the game of inches, right? It's a classic playoff matchup. We give them a free one on 4th and forever, punting out of their own end zone. Then they fumbled on the 5. Then they drop an interception, and then we have something wiped out. It just feels like something's about to break here for Union. Everything's working right. It's just kind of the first team. This is the first time these guys have been in the playoffs.
Turner will kick it away. Back is Knowles. This one's going to go short. It's going to land only at the 30, but it's a decent bounce for the Redhawks. Still going to be great field position for Norman as it will go to the 38-yard line. So with 5:13 to go in this first half, leading 14-7, Union will need to defend a very good offense from their own 38-yard line.
Well, the first thing, we're going to look at number 2, and we're going to be looking at number 2 with the green shoes, Crew Knowles, how he's looking. Really got up slowly, limped off the field, was doubled over and in pain, just like he was in the Mustang game. So we're going to see. I mean, I don't think you're going to have to drag him out of the game. He's not coming out, but we're going to see if that fumble and the ensuing hit is going to affect him on this drive, because, I mean, even in that Mustang game, he had 148 passing and 148 rushing. I mean, he still was able to, just be a dog out there.
Yeah, he actually returned that punt, so he's ready to go. Now at the Union 38-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. 4 receivers. Johnson will move to the right now of Knowles. Knowles will keep it and get outside, and he's got room. 35 inside that to the 30. Nice job right there. That was Heckard who got to his legs and knocked him down just right at maybe a little past the 30. That's still a gain of 8, but if he misses that tackle, he's got a lot more room.
I mean, is that the second touchdown-saving tackle that Heckard has already had in this quarter? The one on the long run by Anthony Johnson, and that one right there.
So 2nd and 2. Let's see if they get all creative here. It's unlikely. That's not their general offense. They'll hand it to Johnson, and Johnson breaks free, still on his feet. He is hit from behind by Castellanos and taken down right about the 19-yard line. So that's going to be an easy first down, and the Tigers will continue this drive.
Union, I think one of the things about being in tight games like this is you see this run up the middle. Kane Brackney was about ready to blow him up. Then he gets blocked. Forbes couldn't quite get him in a nice bring down there. But we've been in tight games before.
And here goes Johnson again. Nice hole, but Kane Brackney hit him right in the shoulders and crunched him right about the 15-yard line. We'll call that a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5, but that was 2 really good football players meeting, and number 4 won.
That's why you got to block Kane Brackney, right? Because when he's out free, that's what he wants to do with Anthony Johnson, and got blocked previously, and this time he's out there and stopping Johnson in his tracks.
3:58 to go, first half, 14-7 Union. It is 2nd down and almost 6 now for the Tigers. Right at Union's 16-yard line. Just outside the 15, actually. Crew Knowles. That's another great quarterback name. Johnson to his left. Knowles will keep it and goes forward, and he's tackled almost immediately by Brackney. He got about 2.5, and it's going to be 3rd down now and around 4 for Norman.
There's so much pressure on our linebackers, and you can do that when you have linebackers at our level, but they're spreading us out. They've got, 3 by 1. They've got 3 out here. We've got press coverage out here. So all of our defensive backs and safeties are elsewhere. So it's all about the defensive line and that front 7 being able to make the stop, because there is no backstop, and they trust our linebackers like that.
And it's also really important if they try to throw the ball, because everybody's got their back turned to Knowles.
Yep.
Knowles is going to hand that ball off. Johnson's got all kinds of room. Cuts back, and he'll dance into the end zone almost untouched, and it's 14-7. That one goes 13 yards. A nice little cutback, basically just a little zone read and a cutback, and we are really close to being tied up again, and that was a nice drive considering. If you watch the replay here, watch the cut by Johnson here. Realizes what's happening, runs past one, and then back in front, and he's going to be in the end zone.
Great.
Really good football game.
Yeah, great vision. And this is, like you said, Rick, this is what you'd expect. 3 minutes left in the second quarter. 2 evenly matched teams, 4 and 5 seeds. And they're right there with the rights to play Bixby next week. The winner of this will go to Bixby. And goodness, we are in for one tonight.
I'm not sure rights is the right way to put that, but someone's going to go to Bixby, right?
I didn't want to say pleasure.
I understand. Ian McKee will try the extra point, and he has been all right on extra points this year. Snap, hold, kick, and looks like it's good. So with 3:02 to go in this first half, the pleasure of playing Bixby next week is all tied up, 14 apiece. We'll be back with the Red Hawks having the football next on the Union Sports Network.
Calling all Tulsa area high school students, Jiffy Lube of Greater Tulsa area is giving away one $4,000 scholarship and 3 $1,000 scholarship awards. Simply tell us in 500 words or less what drives you. It's that easy. No other requirements. Visit JiffyLubeTulsa.com for more information to apply. That's JiffyLubeTulsa.com.
3:02 to play here at Union Tuttle Stadium, the Big House, hosting round 1 of the playoffs. Oklahoma 6A1 football. I'm Rick Corey with Dave Davis. Jeff Johns down there. We got the Stigler next to us here with the stats and occasional numbers. 3:02 to go in the half of a 14-14 game, and both teams have had good things happen. Union, more than anything, have just had penalties, both offensively and defensively, ruin things for them. Norman, not as many. They've had a couple, but of course they had the one fumble.
Union's up to at least 9 penalties so far, maybe 10.
McKee kicks it along the ground. It is picked up, I believe that's Castellanos. He has all kinds of room, and here he goes. Ian just puts his shoulder down at the 40 and crunches past out to about the 43-yard line. One of the players got in front of him right there like, oh, he'll go down. Well, I'm sorry, Zach Sisk. He didn't want to. And Zach got to go backwards a little bit.
Yeah, Castellanos took him for a ride. It's interesting to see different guys' running style and just the gait. Castellanos has this cross-country gait. I mean, it's just these 4-foot strides. I mean, just look at how easy he runs. And that's why, again, we talk about can't keep him off the field. He's just there all the time, special teams defensively. Looks great running a football.
L.J. McGee will be the single setback right behind Dylan Taylor. Red Hawks at their own 44 on this first down. Norman shifts that defensive line. Fake to LJ. They're going to throw it out to Stone. Gets a good block on the corner. Gets outside. Stone's going to have the first down, I believe. Depends on the mark. Nope, not quite. They'll mark him at the 47. So that's a 9-yard gain for Stone. And it'll be close to another first down. Watch the block on the corner because you know they've called so many holds.
Yes.
You see a really nice job by Thompson out there. And then Stone just ran through the one tackle. Now, they'll give the credit on that one to Mason Rosales, but really Stone just ran through it.
And Pat Thompson, one of the guys, you have to watch the games to understand. The box score doesn't do it justice with Pat. Everything he does for this team, placeholder, blocker, he's really a great Union Red Hawk.
2nd and 1. Another quick throw, and this time taken down immediately is Turner. Could not get the block that time, and you know, Norman said, all right, fine, do it once, but we're going to be ready this time. And out there to grab him was Attic Sanders, and it'll be 3rd down and 4.
Not going to surprise me at all if this is going to be 4-down territory. I know traditionally you'd say if you don't make it here, you'd punt, but the way we've been running it, I mean, don't forget, Tay Perry had 54 rushing yards in the first quarter alone. We haven't gone to him yet in this drive. We have a lot of things going for us. It's just these last 2 plays have been very similar. We'll see. I think this is 4-down territory. I really do.
Probably so, especially the fact that Union gets the ball to start the second half. 2 minutes just over here in this half, a 14-14 game. Dylan Taylor, here comes the rush. He fakes. Now he wants to go deep. Cannot. Goes underneath is Turner. Turner comes back across the field, runs into his own guy. Can't get the block he wants and actually lost about a yard. Stone was trying to create, and he went down around the 48-yard line. And I understand what he was trying to do, but he just could not see what was coming from behind him. And down he goes, and Union will kick this thing after the loss.
Unfortunately, just ran into his own guy, and great pursuit by Gabe Autry, number 55 on their side. If he doesn't run into the guy, I think Stone gets the first down there. That allowed Gabe to catch him.
Yep, and Stone tried everything he could to get away from him, but his body motion just would not allow it, and that's where he ended up. So with 1:40 to go in a tie football game, and the ball around the 48-yard line of Union, they will likely kick it away. Probably a little tough. You're not worried about the field goal game with Ian McKee. He has not been that good at that for Norman this year. He's an okay extra point guy. But as you mentioned, they've had some issues at kicking. So I don't think they're going to be going for field goals. I think this group's going to throw it in the end zone.
Yeah. It's also interesting to note, I mean, you know, you have Stone Turner back there as your punter, one of the best athletes on the team. Hasn't done a fake punt this year. He's thought about it, but he'll get out there and run and kick it rugby style, and he kind of pokes and prods and sees and has great vision for a punter. We haven't done a fake punt that I remember this year. It's possible. We've already gone for the blocked punt. I mean, we're trying things special teams-wise tonight. We've had to return 2 onside kicks, essentially. Fake punt, not out of the question here.
No, I think anything is out there, and Stone is probably one of those guys with a green light that if he sees it. Now, there will be situations, and maybe this is one of them, where, you know, Coach John tells them, look, don't do anything but kick this football.
Yeah.
You know, that could certainly be the case as well. Union's special teams coordinator, John Davis, has been here about 30 years. He's done this a long time. Stone will stand at his own 37-yard line. Drew Knowles is back. This kid does everything for Norman. He may drive the bus home. He's around his 15. Stone runs, and now Stone's going to run. Turner to the outside. He's going to have that first down. Turner does. Wow. Dave called it. He goes down to the 44-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 Redhawks. And bad angle by Attic Sanders. Sanders was outside and a little bit nonchalant, kind of like, oh, I got this guy. No, that's him going by you.
I mean, and Attic Sanders is another guy. He's out there on both sides of the ball, just an athlete. And Stone Turner, it's one of those interesting things where Antonio Graham called it at the beginning of the season, hey, we got to be good at special teams. And what did Antonio Graham do last year at Owasso? He has Noah Hill punting, who takes off and runs and constantly does things exactly like that. That was a Noah Hill play from last year that Union is now doing this year to perfection, and something we have not put on tape. Norman was not expecting that.
No, and I'm a little surprised how nonchalant Norman was about that, but it's a 1st and 10 for the Redhawks, and that's all that matters. Now at the 44-yard line of Norman, 1:35 to go first half, a 14-14 game. Handoff to McGee. LJ's got some room down inside the 40, and he'll go to the 39, maybe the 38. Once again, Sanders was near there to be involved in that tackle. The other guy down there was Ashton Bird. You're going to give him 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Time against us here. It is running off. We have all 3 of our timeouts, but it looked to be hurrying up here a little bit more.
By the way, that actually turned out to be Noah Holzer on that tackle. Back to throw is Taylor. Steps up, swings at left side, and that is caught by Stone Turner, who kept in bounds as long as he could, but he was dragged out by Crew Knowles. But he got the first down to the 29-yard line, and now with 1:01 to go, you're in really good shape. Watch Taylor step up here, be patient, and then just sling it out there. And a really nice job by Stone of watching the football first, but he did step out right there. That's a good call.
Yeah, good call by the official. You know, the check down was there. He said, nope, I'm going to wide receiver 1. No offense, LJ. I'm going to wide receiver run, who's 10 yards behind you. And now, 1 minute, all the playbooks open, all 3 timeouts.
And here we go. Union at the 29-yard line of Norman in a 14-all game. 1 minute to go in the half. Quick fire left side. It's caught by Tay. He'll go down to around the 23-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. And this is pretty much a surgical drive right here. Watch Dylan make that swing. And then Tay understands, hey, I need to step out of bounds.
Little 5-yard out route to a very smart player, Tay Perry. Great job. And again, clock now on your side. It was running down at midfield, and now you got all the time in the world, 57 seconds.
Abington, Thompson, and Stone go wide right. McCrary wide left. Running back continues to be Tay Perry. Turner with the clap of the hands. He's got time. Steps up, fires. That ball is caught by McCrary, but he was out of bounds. He had to get that one over the top of Ethan Young, who had good underneath coverage, and that would have had to be a perfect touch ball. Wasn't quite good enough, and it'll be 3rd down now at about 4.
Really,
watch it
really
here.
Close.
You'll see that he put the air under it, but you had to get over the top of 15, and that's just a little too much.
And good job by the defensive back, Drew Hildebrand, just getting him out. He's in the air, just get him out of bounds.
So it'll be 3rd down now. Union at about the 23 needs the 19, so 3rd and 4. Perry to single setback. With a 4 wide, Tay may have some room, especially off that right side out there behind this big offensive line. And that's where he's going to go, and Tay has all kinds of room. Oh, he slipped. Tay was trying to cut back, and he slipped, and right there when he slipped was Kingston Whittam. And that's going to be short by about a yard, but Tay, if he keeps his feet, easily has the first down.
Yeah, no problem. So great timeout, great clock management so far. 44 seconds, that's the first timeout. So you got 2 more to play with. 4th and 1, you have the horses to be able to go for this on short yardage. The nice thing is you also have one of the better field goal kickers in 6A1, Gavin Litchfield, obviously within his range, 7 for 9 this year, all kinds of options. Do you take the points with the wind at your back? And Gavin Litchfield has done very well. Well, I guess the flag, you take the wind direction, Rick, because I'm seeing different flags up there and the one down there.
Well, the ones on top of the goalpost are going a little bit back to the north, but the American flag that's lower down there is going east and southeast. So I think that is swirling. Jeff, is that wind swirling as much as it seems?
There honestly is very little wind down here at all.
Okay.
It's probably just because of where it is in that corner of the end zone that it catches underneath the stands over there.
Gotcha. All right. So it would still be on the table. I still fully expect him to go for it here. You've got a big offensive line. You've got 2 running backs you like. You can bring your heavy package in if you choose, and it looks like they may do that because I see big number 93, Terrence Evans, going out there.
And the other thing is, even if you turn it over, Norman has to go 80 yards in 44 seconds with 2 timeouts.
Imagine you're a guy who plays that stand-up defensive end, and here comes a 355-pounder out going, hey, he's my guy.
You get the Looney Tunes eyes. It's just bonk.
Maybe make the sound effect, too. So 4th down. Union needs less than a yard, just inside the 20 to about the 19, and a timeout will be called by Norman. Stone Turner was in the Wildcat, and they were going to snap it right to number 8.
Calls their second
I like what Norman did there. That's smart. You wait till the very last second, see them set up. Now, I'm always taken back to Jimmy Johnson and Lou Holtz in Notre Dame, Miami, at Notre Dame.
On the game clock, please.
Lou Holtz calls a timeout when Miami's going for 2. I believe it's 2, and it could have been a short 4th down. And Miami comes back out, and they line up in something different again, and Lou calls another timeout. And they go back off the field, and they come back out again, and they were prepared for everything they had to do, and they stoned them, and Notre Dame's going to go win the football game. It was a brilliant cat and mouse between 2 of the best guys to ever coach college football, and it was so much fun to watch. And honestly, when we talk about cat and mouse, that's what's going on down there right now.
These are playoff coaches. This is no accident. These are playoff coaches with playoff experience. Union has managed this game clockwise absolutely beautifully. They're what they want. They're exactly where they want right now, except for the Tay Perry slip, which you can't help. They're where they want. Norman feels like they've got them where they want. I mean, both of these teams are just so evenly matched. I like Union here, and I like what we've been able to do. Everything has been positive run yardage-wise. But it looks like we're going to maybe go to that direct snap again with Stone and make things happen.
Yeah, Kane Brackney is going to be the up back. So there are 6 offensive linemen, actually 7 offensive linemen in there. Brackney is in there at the up back. And it's going to be mano a mano with number 8. And here he goes. And he bounces outside, makes one miss, and this is going to be 6. Stone Turner dances into the end zone. Union leads, and there is not, I repeat, not a yellow hanky on the field. 36 seconds to go. It is now 20-14.
Well, how about that? 2 4th down conversions, including a fake punt by Stone Turner and a 4th and 1 by Stone Turner. When is in doubt, we have given the ball to number 8 this year, and everything that Stone has touched is working tonight, and that's what you need in the 11th game of the season.
Jamarcus Davis had a bit of a shot at him, but not much as Stone did that little Deion Sanders high step. Litchfield for the important extra point. Good snap, good hold, and that one's going to go up and right down the middle. So with 36 seconds to go, the Redhawks, who will get the ball to start the second half, retake the lead 21-14, and now, Dave, all they have to do, we'll keep it here, all they have to do is try to get them off the field. Norman is not a team that throws it deep efficiently. They have a couple of guys who can catch, but their receiving yards aren't great. As a matter of fact, they average 202 on the ground, 138 through the air. That's it. So they're only at 341 yards a game offense. I say only. Most people now are in that 400 range, but they are not efficient at throwing it deep. So as long as you can contain 2 and 7, you should be good.
Yeah, I think there's no question. I mean, even last week in the Bixby game, Norman goes in there, and Bixby's just tough. I mean, Bixby beats him by 69, but even in that game where Norman had to throw the ball, they still only had 61 yards passing. So if you make this team one-dimensional and you can, like you said, find a way to at least slow down Knowles and Johnson, you have a great chance at winning this game on the replay. Look at this.
I was trying to see, and I could not. Great shot by Andy and the Union Sports Network crew. That block on the corner wasn't Kane. He was inside. He made a block, but I can't tell that player on the corner because he's the key. He's the one that made that a touchdown. So Litchfield will kick this thing off. Knowles once again will be back there. So will, I think, Preston Boblet. And this one he's going to put as much foot into as he can, and that'll be a touchback. Boy, you cannot overestimate or overstate how important Gavin Litchfield is. He has just been nails all year long, and I just look at the roster and I think, oh, I don't want him to leave.
I know, I really don't go.
Yeah, and they've got Lincoln Aragona behind him who looks like a twig on the field. He's 6'1", 120. A forked twig, if you will. But we have watched him in warm-ups, Dave, knocking him through from 40, so he's got time. And Coach says he takes it very seriously. It's just so hard when you lose a guy like Gavin Litchfield, with some of the great punters they've had in the past and kickers, in the past. You lose a guy who's now in the NFL and it's a team captain in Washington.
Trice Way, unbelievable.
So many great kickers here.
Because on the flip side, Rick, look at what Norman has done. They've given a starting position at the 40-yard line on kickoffs. Now we've pinned Norman back to the 20.
And that's where they will start. They will hand it off to Johnson, and he's going to bounce outside, and he'll get some yards, but he's just wasting time. He got to the 27-yard line, and he was taken down right there by Rocky Bright. And it's just going to continue, and I think Norman's going to be happy to hand this thing off and get to the half.
Focus here for the defense. Focus for 20 more seconds.
Pardon me, very fast first half, too. We played it in about 8 minutes and 11, in about an hour and 11 minutes. They're after Knowles, and Knowles was running away from the backside pressure, and he didn't look forward, and there was Terrence Evans right in front of him, and Terrence swallowed him like a slider.
First sack.
Terrence Evans number 2 just disappeared, and look at Cole. Crew Knowles, pardon me. Crew Knowles is upset. He's upset at the officials. He's upset at his offensive line. He's just upset. Well, let's let him go to the half and cool down a little bit. At the half here, it is 21-14, Union over Norman. Rick Corey along with Dave Davis, Jeff Johns, and Christine is here in the booth with us as well, helping with numbers. We'll get some halftime stats in a few minutes. We'll see a little performance here and there, and we'll be back with you in a few minutes here on the Union Sports Network.
Does your school or organization need athletic apparel or spirit wear? Let me suggest Inkwell, a Tulsa-based company that can get you the quality you deserve at unheard of and unmatched lead times. Talking 2 weeks or less, not 2 months like most others, and can do it as much as 60% less than most of the big guys out there. So join the likes of Sand Springs, Union, Broken Arrow, Jinx, Oolaga, and Glenpool to name a few, and get your customized sublimated uniforms, including Under Armour, Nike, or Adidas at InkwellNation.com.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right, Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
Hey Union fans, score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Union Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
When summer heats up and your AC isn't working right, be cautious of being pressured into a replacement. It's always a good idea to get a second opinion, and Airco will let you know if your AC is worth fixing. So call Airco today for a free second opinion.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Shields is now open at the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, and we can't thank you enough for the warm welcome. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Shields has something for everyone. Our passionate and knowledgeable Shields experts are excited to welcome you to explore thousands of brands and premium products. From our golf simulator, service shop, archery lanes, and more, we're ready to get you fitted with the best gear for you. We can't wait to see you at Shields.
Select Commercial Group, a part of Coldwell Banker Select, is a highly reputable and professional firm specializing in commercial real estate services. David Roberts heads up the group with over 40 years of management experience and over 20 years in the real estate market. Sarah Bergeson, Scott Job, Jason Smith, Amy Bauman are skilled professionals that are poised to help you achieve your goals. Select Commercial Group treats their clients like family. With a wealth of experience and expertise in the industry, they are dedicated to providing exceptional services to clients seeking commercial real estate solutions. Whether you are looking to buy, sell, lease, or invest in commercial properties, their expertise covers various sectors, including office spaces, retail properties, industrial facilities, and more. Select Commercial Group is the go-to partner for all your commercial real estate needs. Call 918-695-6979 or 918-394-0700. A sponsor of the Union Red Hawks.
Union Varsity Cheer, coached by Stacy Durant. Activity programs are primarily for the student participants. The purpose of this contest is to provide positive learning experiences and opportunities for personal growth of our student athletes. This competition is being conducted according to the rules of the Oklahoma Secondary School Activities Association. Players, coaches, officials, and spectators can and are expected to assist in the promotion and achievement of good sportsmanship ideals by taking personal responsibility for keeping this contest at a high level of fair, clean, wholesome competition. Good luck to both teams. And now let's hear it for Union Varsity Palm. Union Varsity Palm, coached by Hope Smith and Emma Kelly. Calling all Tulsa area high school students, Jiffy Lube of the greater Tulsa area is giving away one $4,000 scholarship and three $1,000 scholarship awards. Simply tell us in 500 words or less what drives you. It's that easy, no other requirements. Visit JiffyLubeTulsa.com for more information and to apply. That's JiffyLubeTulsa.com for a chance at a $4,000 scholarship from your local Jiffy Lube owners. Just tell us what drives you. Deadline is March 9th. Attention fans, let's remind ourselves what today is really about. While winning is the goal, the purpose is so much more. To learn and to grow. Because this is a school sport, and in schools we learn. Congratulations to both teams for making it to this day.
What I have covered with Country Financial is everything from the ground up.
Life insurance, home insurance, and auto insurance.
Country Financial has been great for us, 3 kids and houses and cars and a business, and it's very comforting to know that Country Financial is in our corner.
It's important to me to know that not only am I insured, I'm insured with a reputable company.
Our experience with Country has always been stress-free. They go above and beyond to help our clients. They take care of what matters most to me.
Country Financial is a proud sponsor of the OSSAA football playoffs and state championships. Country Financial makes insurance easy. Worry less and feel more confident with insurance designed to meet your specific needs. Visit countryfinancial.com to experience more today.
Does your school or organization need athletic apparel or spirit wear? Let me suggest Inkwell, a Tulsa-based company that can get you the quality you deserve at unheard of and unmatched lead time. Talking 2 weeks or less, not 2 months like most others and can do it as much as 60% less than most of the big guys out there. So join the likes of Sand Springs, Union, Broken Arrow, Jinx, Oolaga, and Glenpool to name a few, and get your customized sublimated uniforms, including Under Armour, Nike, or Adidas at inkwellnation.com.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right, Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
Select Commercial Group, a part of Coldwell Banker Select, is a highly reputable and professional firm specializing in commercial real estate services. David Roberts heads up the group with over 40 years of management experience and over 20 years in the real estate market. Sarah Bergeson, Scott Jobe, Jason Smith, Amy Bauman are skilled professionals that are poised to help you achieve your goals. Select Commercial Group treats their clients like family. With a wealth of experience and expertise in the industry, they are dedicated to providing exceptional services to clients seeking commercial real estate solutions. Whether you are looking to buy, sell, lease, or invest in commercial properties, their expertise covers various sectors, including office spaces, retail properties, industrial facilities, and more. Select Commercial Group is the go-to partner for all your commercial real estate needs. Call 918-695-6979 or 918-394-0700, a sponsor of the Union Red Hawks.
touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Good times never seem so good. And when I hurt, curtain comes off my shoulder. How can I hurt when holding one, touching one, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Good times never seem so good.
We are back here at Union Tuttle Stadium. It's halftime, 6A1 high school playoff football, and the weather could not be better. I'm Rick Corey here at Union Tuttle Stadium along with Dave Davis. Jeff Johns is down on the sidelines, probably visiting the little broadcaster's room. And we have a Stigler here doing some numbers for us as well. It's still 69 degrees outside. It's just gorgeous. And it's a 21-14 Union lead. And Dave, when you start looking at the numbers, most of these are about as even as you would see. There were only really There were 4 possessions per team in the first half. Although Norman got one extra possession, those 2 or 3 plays really didn't count for much. This is a game, and especially at 21-14 for Union now, they get it to start the second half. If they can get a 2-score lead, it's going to be really hard for Norman to come back because they just don't possess the ball enough.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do against a team that likes to run it and had 14 passing yards in the first half? Is you build a 2-score lead on them. And Crew Knowles has been sacked 4 times. He's visibly frustrated out there. Their quarterback, who's just been basically pressed into quarterback duty. It's not what he's done all year. He's been a receiver in the last 3 games he's played quarterback. And, yeah, I mean, you want to get him frustrated. And 4 sacks, it's great for our defensive line. Our defensive tackle, Terrence Evans, got his first sack of the year. So keeping that pressure on, combined with, as you mentioned, the slower pace of their offense, a 2-score lead would be absolutely huge. And Tay was getting those yards in the first quarter running the ball.
And as a matter of fact, Cash Kurtner, who has been their quarterback, had been their quarterback most of the year and was their most effective quarterback at 59% completions with 579 yards, didn't even make the trip, at least not that I can tell. No. I didn't see him on the team anywhere, and I know he had some bumps and bruises as well. So if you look at some of these stats, it is not necessarily pretty. Union with 103 rushing yards, 167 for Norman, but that is because one guy, Mr. Johnson, Anthony Johnson, had a 70-yard run. He has 135 total. So the rushing yards right now goes to Norman. When you come to passing yards, neither one has a lot. 14 yards, though, for Norman. That's it, 117 for Union. That second quarter, uniquely close. Union with 101 total yards of offense, Norman with 103. But Union got 2 different touchdowns out of it. Norman only got 1. And then the thing that really strikes me, Union going out of the first quarter was 2 of 2 on third down. They finished the half 2 of 6. So they didn't get a third down in the second quarter, but they were 3 of 3 on fourth.
Absolutely critical. A 4th and 7 on a Avington pass that went 32 yards. Then the 4th down and 5, fake punt, first of the season. Stone Turner picks it up with his legs. And then another 4th down conversion on a 4th and 1 where Stone bounces it to the outside and scores the touchdown. So every single 4th down has been absolutely backbreaking for Norman, and that's what you need for Union. You overcome 9 penalties somehow. You got to do it somehow, right, if you're Union. 9 penalties in the first half and 3 4th down conversions. You need that. You got to have it in a playoff game.
Yet, Union has 220 total yards, 181 for Norman. I mean, if you double that, you're at 440 total yards, which is a really nice night. But if you look out there at 21-14 and you think about how this game has gone, you'd be hard-pressed to say it was an explosive football game, but there were moments. Now, Jeff Johns is down on the field, and he got a chance to go in the locker room and listen to some of the pep talk. What'd you hear, Jeff?
Yeah, Coach called his entire starting defense into his office, and he said, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. You just have to finish the game right now. You have to stop the run. They haven't passed on us all night. You have to go out there and you have to stop the run. Whatever it takes, there's some big guys out there, but you have to buckle up, finish the game, and do not let them pass the line of scrimmage.
Well, you know what? Anytime the head coach takes you in his office, yeah, that's like going to the principal, right? You're just going to walk in there and hope it goes well, but with a 7-point lead, it did. Union will get it to start the second half. And again, if they can put a drive together right here, look out. The winner of this one will get a chance to play over at Bixby next week. And boy, that's not easy for anybody. But Dave, as a friend of mine, J.B. Haney, used to say, there's a reason they don't play them on paper, but they play them on grass or turf.
Just look at this, folks. I mean, last year, Owasso was supposed to walk to the state title. They were unstoppable, had a 12 package, a heavy package that nobody could stop. And then the state championship game happened. I thought Bixby easily had the state title last year, and boy, you just never know, because Union this is a motivated team, and if they're going into Bixby next week, they know they're underdogs. They know nobody is saying they can win that game. Whoever out here, but let's just say it's Union because that's our broadcast. I want to see it. I'm gonna be there for it.
Ian McKee with a little kick along the ground. It is picked up, and here goes. Is that Stone? It is. Stone breaks free at midfield and steps out of bounds. Stone Turner was not going to have it. He came from all the way back deep to around the 20-yard line and was on a dead sprint when the football was kicked. And I think he cut in front of, maybe it was Castellanos, but he just grabbed that thing like a center fielder or cut off his left fielder and went to town.
We all know that football games aren't won by individual players. It is a team sport, but it just feels like Stone Turner is out there winning this game tonight. He's saying, hey, this ain't happening. This ain't happening. We're not going down. And Stone Turner has just been absolutely, unquestionably the star of the game.
He has. There's no doubt. 1st and 10 for the Redhawks now at their own 48-yard line. Leading 21-14. Here we go with the second half at Union Tuttle Stadium. Tay Perry behind Taylor. Tay got room, bounces outside. Here goes Tay. Breaks the tackle, and he's down to the 40-yard line. Could not get away from the last guy, Harris Valentine, but he got about 12 or 13, and that's a first down.
Again, what we have not had a lot of success against the other teams against is bouncing it outside. They've been able to outside contain us, and tonight we are breaking contain. Tay Perry bouncing off that front end, that offensive line doing a great job, and just making linebackers and cornerbacks try to catch him, and Tay's doing a great job of it.
Great replay right there by Andy and the crew. Did you see Kingston with him? He did everything he could, and suddenly Tay went, boop, and gone. And once again, where'd he go? Where'd who go? Tay gets a first down. Now at the 39-yard line of Norman, here come the Redhawks. Motion. Oh, that's a broken play, and Dylan Taylor's going to go down. He's going to go down way back at midfield. That was not what it was supposed to be in any form. Several guys on that tackle. Ashton Bird will get most of that credit. And that is a loss all the way back to the 47-yard line. So that's an 8-yard loss for the Redhawks.
Okay, big deep breaths here for Dylan Taylor. That's the first sack he's taken all game. He's been able to wiggle out of it, and that one was just too far gone. Great pursuit in the backfield. But again, Union it's running a complex offense, running a lot of motion, a lot of moving pieces tonight to get their defense's eyes in the backfield.
Speaking of eyes, you saw Dylan's. They were like cartoon eyes there for a moment. He turned around, there was nobody there. Taylor, we'll see if he can launch one. He's got all kinds of time. Throws deep. Man's wide open. Defender fell down. That's Stone Turner for 6. 47 yards, and the Redhawks have that 2-score lead. The defender fell down. Stone Turner continued downfield, and Dylan Taylor just gently laid it up and into his arms, and it is 27-14 Redhawks.
Wow, he's had a 60-yarder this year. Here's another one, throwing it in the air a long way. And Crew Knowles, just fell down. And it's been a tough night for Crew, and I know he's frustrated. But with Union, Stone Turner, once again, a touchdown. And we are blowing the top off this defense. That's at least the 4th wide-open pass we've had tonight in the backfield.
Litchfield to add the extra point. High snap, but it got down. The kick is up, and I believe it's good. It is. So 10:26 to go in the third period. Union strikes first and fast. Redhawks now leading 21-14 over Norman, but the Tigers will get it when we come back here on the Union Sports Network.
Union touchdown is proudly sponsored by Whataburger.
Well, the old story is true. The absolutely hardest catch to make is the one when you're wide open, and the hardest throw to make is when someone's wide open. Union just pulled it off, and I mean sublimely, and they get the long touchdown and now lead 28-14. Welcome back to the Big House. Rick Corey and Dave Davis. We got Jeff Johns down on the sidelines here as the Redhawks lead, and they'll now kick it off to Norman. And, you wanted a touchdown drive. I didn't know they'd be that fast.
Lightning quick, less than a minute and a half. And with Dylan Taylor, the thing about that drive that I love, he had just taken his first sack of the game. 7 yards on a busted play. It looked like everything was going sideways, right? 2nd and 17. Dylan Taylor is able to move on after something like that and just make a throw.
Litchfield's going to knock it into the end zone, so at the 20-yard line is where Norman will start, and we'll see if that, if the frustration continues for Crew Knowles, that's when you press. And then when you press, things happen that are poor. And one of the problems they had is, we mentioned their other quarterback, Cash Kurtner, he had 4 touchdowns and 4 picks. So he had turned the ball over a great deal. Knowles hasn't done that. He just doesn't throw it as much. Only threw it 3 times in the first half. But he'll also, if you get frustrated, Dave, you try to do too much with the ball in your hands, and it can come out.
Yeah, and Crew Knowles is out there, and he's pressing. Another guy that I wanted to mention in case he comes in, number 6, Grayson May, has also been a starting quarterback for this team. He has 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I saw him warming up, so it'll be interesting how they approach this here for Norman.
Knowles hands to Johnson, and he runs into his own offensive lineman and then got smacked in the head by Kane Brackney. Now, he got a good first down gain of about, now I'm going to give him 6 maybe. We'll call it 2nd and 4. And there were a couple of Redhawks out there that had shots at him. Jaden Forbes did, but then it was kind of a push in the pile thing.
Another guy doesn't show up on the stat sheet a lot, but Jaden Forbes, what he does, taking attention away and allowing linebackers to come in and make tackles, really good.
Knowles will keep it himself, and he's got the first down. Nice tackle in there, though. Once he broke the line of scrimmage, if he'd been able to break that next tackle by Rocky Bright, he had a ways to go, but Rocky dragged him down. It'll be a first down for Norman at their own 32-yard line.
Yeah, Knowles, their second leading rusher, next to Anthony Johnson. Those two guys, as we mentioned, most of their offense, and just a nice job there by the O-line.
So 1st and 10. They'll hand it Johnson. He's got a lot of room, but he's going to get hit from behind. And that first hit came from, I think, Mario Marzette. That'll be another 6-yard gain. And this is kind of what we were talking about earlier. If you get a 2-score lead on a team that can't score fast, they may drive the ball, but it's going to take most of the quarter. And if you can get anything, get them off the field at any time or get a turnover, they're really helping you right now. Redhawks adjusted and almost jumped off sides, didn't on this 2nd and 4. If Norman increases the 42, they'll have the first down. Knowles going to hand it to Johnson again. He's got a lot of room. Here goes Johnson. He already has one big touchdown. Heckard can't get to him, and Heckard might be able to catch him. He does, but he doesn't get him down. Heckard had a hold of him, but he couldn't get him down because we're talking about a guy who's a lot bigger, and Johnson goes all the way to the end zone. That's going to be good for about 62 yards, and it's going to make it 28-20. So you can completely ignore what I said about scoring fast because here goes number 7. Really good block at the source right there. You saw getting caught inside was Cozart. And then just a really nice job by Johnson using his blocker, and Heckard gave it every effort but couldn't get that big dude down.
Yeah, Alex Sanders just hanging in there because he knew Gary Heckard had already had 2 touchdown-saving tackles. But, yeah, we sold out. We sold out on the run. They sold out on the heavy package, and they won that battle.
Ian McKee on for the extra point. Knowles will hold. Snap, down, kick. It was low, but it got through there. So with 8:47 to go in the 3rd period, we have the same kind of game we had. Close, tough, and fun. 28-21, Union leads Norman. We'll be back with the kickoff next on the Union Sports Network.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and milk and color. And the right way to fill it is in slow motion. Because authentic ingredients make the sub a dot.
The OSSA would like to remind us all to remember why we're here. While the goal today is to win, the purpose is so much greater. It's about student athletes growing as people. And that's what the OSSAA serves to protect. Learn more at protectthepurpose.com.
Back here at the Big House at Union Tuttle Stadium, just near 71st and Mingo. It is 28-21 Union after Norman goes on a drive, so both teams have had a possession here in this 3rd period. Both teams have had a touchdown. Rick Corey, Dave Davis, Jeff Johns down on the sidelines, and I'm sure they'll be talking about what happened right there. And as you said, Dave, he kind of sold out a little bit and got a couple of really good blocks, and then Gary Heckard just could not bring the big man down.
And, you know, this is the 2nd game in a row we've given up a 200-yard rusher. But, again, last week, Edmond Memorial was able to get 200 yards in the ground. They only scored 16. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Our defense has given up 200-yard rushers in back-to-back games now, but these are also very good running backs, very good offensive linemen. In the playoffs, a lot of times, it's a matter of slowing a team down, not totally stopping their best player.
This time McKee will kick it high, but he kicks it out of bounds, so the Redhawks will get it at their own 35-yard line as Tay Perry wisely just followed that football. So it'll be Union's football at the 35-yard line, and we will get this thing back underway.
Offense coming out highly motivated. Everybody's got the energy. I'm seeing Manny Gonzalez walking out there, you know, ready to go and having all kinds of confidence now with Dylan Taylor. That's the key in his first playoff start as a quarterback.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down, Union.
Thank you very much, Mr. Official.
As expected there, but Dylan Taylor, you know, first playoff start, he's looked good. I mean, taking only 1 sack, had a lot of nice throws and beautiful throws that have been able to buy some time in the backfield. Eyes are getting drawn to him, and his receivers are helping him out by blowing the top off of the safeties.
So 1st and 10, Redhawks at their own 35. They lead by 7 here in the 3rd period. Blitz coming. Union hands it off to McGee, and he's going to go forward for about 2. That blitz was well-timed right there by Norman. Noah Holzer, one of the guys in on the tackle. The other guy who made that tackle was Kingston Whittem. I'll give him about 2, and we'll call it 2nd and 8.
Yeah, just kind of doing that backfield counter play, just real quick handoff, trying to counter what they're doing, which is selling out to stop our run, and just Norman did a better job there, but I still like the play design, and I think we're going to continue to go back to that, those quick behind handoffs there.
We'll get you some of the other scores from around the state. Almost everybody on this side of the state other than Union has a bye week, but there are teams playing on the other side. 2nd and 8 for the Redhawks. Fake and a quick throw, and there he is wide open again. And here goes Stone Turner off to the races, makes one miss. He's going to go to the 40-yard line, and Stone Turner takes it all the way from the Union 38 to the 40-yard line, 23 yards on the reception, and it's a first down. And there is a player down on the far side, and that looks like Jamarcus Davis. Now watch here as Stone gets upfield, and it's Davis. He made miss, and it looks like Davis hurt himself. Oh, I hope that's not a knee. You saw him grab that knee when he went down. I'm afraid that's what that was, Dave.
His legs went out. It's just a bad cut, and that's really, really tough. With Stone, I mean, once again, and I give a lot of credit to Dylan Taylor. I mean, it is so frustrating. You got to think for this defense, they are right there with Dylan Taylor. They're getting in the backfield. They're pursuing him, and Dylan's evolution and how he's come along, just popping it right over their heads. That's how you counter. Just pop it. Draw them in and pop it over.
Well, it helps when number 8's open all the time.
Yep.
All right, here's some scores from around the state. In the third quarter, Edmond Memorial, who Union saw last week, and they are a very good football team. We saw another good running back last week, leads Edmond North by a score of 7-0. And here's that play again. And you watch when Stone makes the cut. You see the player go down right there, and, that looked like a knee right there. Other games tonight right now. Ooh, this is a good one. Mustang and Norman North, and I thought it would be. Third period, it is 21-7, the Broncos. Of course, we have a 28-21 score here. UConn, and this one surprises me, leading Deer Creek 24-0.
Unreal.
And UConn is a team Union just blew out not that long ago. So those are some of the games right now that are going on. As I mentioned, Broken Arrow, Jinx, Owasso, and Bixby all with bye weeks. And, this week I ask each of those head coaches I talk to when I do my podcast. And if you don't know this, I do one different coach every day on podcast that you can find on YouTube under the Rick Corey Sports Special. And every one of them I ask, is a bye week in the playoffs different than a bye week in the regular season? And they all said yes. Pretty interesting answers as to why. 1st and 10 for the Redhawks now at the 40-yard line of Norman. Union in their diamond formation, if you will. Now a fake, and they're going to go deep. Going to go deep to Stone. No, they're going to the right side, and that is caught. I think that is Avington. It is, and Avington has his second touchdown. No, that's Dewberry. That is Bryson Dewberry. He has a touchdown, 40 yards, and the Redhawks extend their lead again. A beautiful throw by Dylan Taylor.
Right down the right rail. It's just unbelievable what that play was. It was good coverage. I mean, just dropping in zone, taking away the underneath routes. There was coverage in the backfield. Dylan had one place he could throw it. Dewberry got that separation because he is a 4'5", 200 athlete, right? I mean, he's one of the fastest guys in the state. It's his second touchdown of the year. He's averaging about 20 yards a play plus.
It only took 57 seconds on that drive. Litchfield on for the extra point. And I feel a little bad right there for Ethan Young. He's the guy trying to catch him. And you saw Young turn and look like, wow, how did that happen? That's a DNA play. You can't catch me. All that is a DNA play. But give credit to Dylan. He didn't underthrow that ball. That's one of those things you might put too much touch on. He did not. Let's get down to the field and Jeff.
Guys, Dewberry is one of those players who, like you said, he has an incredible speed, but the route running and the other traits are the things that they've been working on. So a lot of times he's over here on the sideline. All of a sudden you'll see the entire offensive huddle turn to the sideline and everybody yells, Dewberry. And as soon as he comes in, you know where it's going. I don't understand yet why defenses don't drop way back when he comes in, but that's the play. And credit to Dylan Taylor because we've seen him underthrow or miss some of those deep throws throughout the year. This is just that evolution from him hitting all of the deep plays tonight.
And remember, he's only a junior, too.
Yeah.
So you got a chance to have Dylan Taylor back. There's no doubt he has matured as a player, and Dewberry has been fantastic. And, again, he's just straight. He's a long strider, too, so you can be next to him for about the first 10 yards. And then as soon as that dude, does the Usain Bolt, starts to pick up speed with those big legs, those long legs, he's gone. I mean, the old story, if he's leaving, that is exactly what's happening with Dewberry.
I can't stress this enough with Dewberry as that one goes out of the end zone. I can't stress this enough with Dewberry. It's only his 9th catch of the year, and he has over 214 yards in 8 catches coming into the game. I mean, that's like 30 yards a play. And you have to do that deep tape study. If you're going to study Union, you have to look at all the games because we have so many of those players. Abington, where'd this guy come from? Dewberry, where'd this guy come from? 8 catches, but all of them have been explosive.
And I remember, of course, back when Brennan Marion played at Tulsa, and not only was he the fastest player in the NCAA, he was the fastest player with the ball in his hands at the NCAA, and believe me, that's different. And he set a record for average yards per catch that still stands. And guys would watch him and you would game plan for him, but you can't just leave the entire middle of the field open. So 1st and 10 now for Norman. Once again, they trail by 14. They'll hand off to Johnson, and he is wrapped up now. He pulls people with him. Castellanos got there. Brackney got there. They'll give him 3 to about they're going to give him 4, the 24-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and 6.
And another thing that Norman will do, and they tried this against Mustang when they were down and out, and they just kept fighting, is they will try to pop it over the top, and they will try to lull you to sleep with the handoffs with Anthony Johnson.
The guy in the quarterback spot is Crew Knowles. He has not thrown it well tonight. He's had a rough night overall. Union has pounded him quite a bit. 2nd down and 6. Almost dropped that one. Knowles will take off himself, and he's got a lot of room. Knowles to the outside, and then it closes, but he runs through a tackle and goes all the way to the 40-yard line. Well, that is a brave play. I think the tackle he ran through out there, I believe, was Rocky Bright. Rocky had him dead to rights, and Knowles just shoved him out of the way and went for the 1st down.
And it all starts with a one-handed grab on a bad snap. I mean, this guy, he's just an athlete. He's just a ball player out there, and he's keeping this team in this game.
Under 7 to play, 3rd period, 35-21 Union. They'll hand off to Johnson, and he's hit right away. And one of the guys in there making that hit, Rocky Bright. Also in there, I think, was Heckard. Yes, it was. And no, I'm sorry, it's Oliver Smith. They'll only give him 1. It'll be 2nd and 9. And again, they broke off the long run in that last series. But this is the problem with an offense like this. It's just hard to come back fast. Knowles has Johnson to his right. 3 receivers in a triangle to the right here. Union adjusts one. Knowles is going to take off again, and he's going to be dragged down right about the 47-yard line. He'll go backwards, but they're going to give him the 47. And Tucker Cook had a hold of him back there. Rocky had a hold of him, and it'll be 3rd down and about 3.
And somehow, after an absolutely explosive start, Norman has figured out a way to neutralize Tucker where he's not been involved as he was early on. But look for him here. 3rd and 3. This looks like Tucker time to me.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Union come with the run blitz, but you have to be so careful. If they break that first line, they've got a long way to go. 3rd and 3, and they're going to direct snap it to Johnson, and he got the 1st down. He leaps to the 49-yard line of Union. Castellanos dragged him right there, but that's just enough for the 1st down, and they will move the chains as the clock continues to move.
The power, athleticism of Anthony Johnson right there. You know, he's been so methodical, such a big guy, but then he just can leap over people and get 1st downs like that.
Now at the 49 of Union, they will shift there, shifting players left and right. Fortunately, Norman is not going fast. Union will be in a 2-deep look. They'll hand it Johnson again, and he's hit by Brackney, but he continues to drive, and he's going to drive Kane Brackney all the way to the 45-yard line of Union. And again, Rocky was out there to help, so is Castellanos. But that big dude got 4 yards, and that was 4 hard yards.
And just pushing Kane, and nobody pushes Kane around, but boy, he is just such a load in there. Union's going to take this all day, Rick. I mean, we've talked about this. 5 minutes, clock ticking, limiting explosive plays. Anthony has had 2 big runs, and that's contributed to his 200-yard night. But these short 3-yarders, you will take this.
Norman needs the 39. They're going to throw it deep. Got a man wide open. Got it. And he makes the move to the inside, and this is going to be 6. Making the catch was Haynes Hartsock, and he cut inside a Union defender, and that was that. I think that I can't tell if it was Oliver or Heckard. I think maybe Oliver. And then once he cut back, that was that, and we're now 35-27. And this is, again, how we expected this to go, although I will say Norman is scoring faster than we ever thought.
Yeah, and they did what we thought. I mean, just kind of lulling us to sleep. Anthony Johnson, Crew Knowles, zone read, then we're going power run, and then Haynes Hartsock just wide open. But when it happens, when your eyes are in the backfield and you're looking at 7 and you're looking at 2, if 3 gets loose, he can go.
That is a 49-yard touchdown. We've had a lot of explosive touchdowns in this football game. Big extra point coming up from Ian McKee. Knowles will hold. Good snap. That kick is up, and that may be his best of the day, and it's good. 4:38 to go, 3rd period. We are nowhere close to over, my friends. Come back next time, or in about a minute, and it'll be time for Union to have the football here on the Union Sports Network.
well as no re-entry for all patrons. Safety is everyone's responsibility. If you see anything suspicious or out of the ordinary, please notify security officers or an administrator. Jersey Mike's is proud to be a premier sponsor of Union Athletics. Jersey Mike's offers dine-in, carry-out catering, and has you covered with everything you need for a great party. Download the app, order ahead, skip the line. Stop in at Jersey Mike's at 71st on Highway 169. And thank them for sponsoring Union Athletics. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
At the Big House, Union Tuttle Stadium, Union High School leading 35-28 over Norman. I'm Rick Horry with Dave Davis, Jeff Johns. Here at the Big House, 35-28. We've seen nothing but touchdowns here in the second half. We've seen explosives from both teams. And just when Union gets that 2-score lead, you think, all right, you're safe. And then here comes Norman with two very kind of unexpected, quick, long drives.
And that was such a good play there, too, because a little button hook route like that is so hard to defend one-on-one. When that guy turns around, plants his foot in the ground, and does the hook route, it's just a great design. And, again, we're talking about two coaches, two offensive coordinators who have playoff experience, who have had a lot of success in a battle on the coaching front and on the play calling front, and just this whole cat and mouse game. This is 6A1 football at its best. Highly entertaining.
Been fun, there's no doubt. McKee's going to kick it short again, and I think this thing will go out of bounds if they let it. They will not, though. Dejon Gaines will grab a hold of it, and Dejon's got some speed. Nope, I'm sorry, that's Castellanos. Castellanos had some speed, though. I mean, he can get that thing and go. Could not get it to go right there. But that's a good return. It'll be Union's football at their own 34-yard line, leading 35-28. Down to Jeff.
Guys, we've talked about Stone all night and the different plays that he's made. And even there where he didn't catch the ball, he ran in front as fast as he could, put his hands out, and laid the hurt on a guy right in front of him to give it a little bit of extra room, just any bit of yard he can get.
You see Jeff there on the Union Sports Network wandering around the team, getting all those tidbits. Thank you, sir. 1st and 10 for the Redhawks, up 7. Need to keep that pressure going. Perry with motion. He'll hand off to L.J. McGee, and he breaks a tackle at the 40. L.J. to the 42, 43, and he's going to go right there at about the 43-yard line. L.J. is owed a quarter by about 2 or 3 Norman players who he just gave a ride. One of those guys was Harris Valentine. The other was Ashton Bird. It'll be 2nd and 1.
Getting some nice blocking up there. And LJ, it's been so nice. I mean, hey, it'd be great to have Tay Perry out there getting 1,400 yards this year. But having LJ as the RB2 has been absolutely critical to this offense, keeping Tay fresh, which keeps LJ fresh, which keeps Tay fresh. That 1-2 punch has worked very nicely.
Well, and Tay was in motion right there and did a nice job of drawing him over. They blitz, and here goes Tay. He's got room. 50, 40. It's a foot race. 30. Not going to get him. 25, 15, 10, 5. Tay Perry takes it 57 yards, and Union now again has a 2-score lead. And apparently, Dave Davis, the only way you can score a second-half touchdown is 50-plus.
It's all big plays all the time, baby. Look at this replay. Union Sports Network just doing an awesome job tonight on these replays. And I tell you, that was the touchdown earlier from Dewberry. Can't see that one enough. But Tay, I mean, again, it's what we were just talking about. So LJ comes in, gets a nice 9-yard run. Tay was in motion. Now Tay gets the ball. And they found that thing that works, because sometimes running backs don't like sharing the time, and these guys have found something that works.
Litchfield for another important extra point. Not a great snap, but Litchfield somehow got him through there. Give a lot of credit right there to Pat Thompson. Thompson recovered. That was a worm burner right there now, right along the turf, and he was able to use those receiver hands to snatch that thing and get it set up, and then Litchfield didn't hit it great, but it went through, and it's 42-28. Now, Dave, Christine was pointing out that in the first half, each team really had 4 possessions. That's Union's 3rd possession of the quarter.
Isn't that funny how it works? I think the big difference as we see the replay here, just look at Tay go.
Oh, look at McCrary's block out front.
And this is a great defense. I mean, this is a defense that has really been able to stop teams this year. 19-13 game against Norman North, an explosive Norman North team. These aren't scrubs, and we are absolutely outrunning their defensive backfield. We're taking the top off in the passing game. What we are doing right now is incredible to a good Norman defense that I kind of thought going into it, Rick, I really thought this would be a defensive battle. I thought this was going to be similar to Edmond Memorial last week. I really did. And this is surprising me, and this is what you need for Union's offense. you know, the offense has been kind of down the last 3 games except Westmore. Going into where they're going to play next week, if they can hold on, you need this confidence boost.
Saw the replay again from Andy Irwin and the Union Sports Network crew, and that was poor Harris Valentine, who had no shot. Litchfield will kick off, and again, it will go into the end zone, and Norman will start at their own 20-yard line with 3:40 to go in this third period. Union now up 42-28. It's starting to feel like get one stop and the game's over, but you know that's not really true, but it is starting to feel that way.
Yeah, no, it is, and I think a big difference between these two teams is they've been so evenly matched offensive-wise. Look at where Union started the ball. We're starting it at our own 30, our own 35, our own 40. Every time Norman is starting at their own 20. It's special teams. Special teams is making the difference. And something else that's been interesting this third quarter, not a single flag, Rick, and I think it's just flying by. There have been no penalties. Union has got that all cleaned up. Whatever that was in the first half, they looked like they got it cleaned up.
Or the officials just forgot they have them, and I'm all right with that.
Yeah,
3:40 to go in the third period. Norman having to hurry here. Well, they don't really have to because the play clock hasn't even started. So they're signaling a player in, and that's going to be Joseph Braggs-Knox, who realized, oh, I'm supposed to play. Crew Knowles single in the backfield, and he'll run it, and he's got all kinds of room. Look out, here goes Knowles. He won't get there. He was taken down by Oliver Smith, but he did get all the way to the Union 39-yard line. So that is a 41-yard run for Nolan. No flag, and it's 1st and 10 for Norman. And here we go, folks. We've got ourselves an arena football game.
I think these guys are worn out. I mean, these defenses are just on the field, going back and forth. All of these long players, they're going out and chasing. They have to chase these 50-yarders every time.
Johnson hit right there by Brackney, but Johnson pushes fast and has about another, well, he's got 13 or 14. Marzette was in there. He kind of shucked Brackney. And that's a little bit to Dave's point. These defenses are tired, and I got to think Norman's is tired as well. The other player he kind of pushed around in there was Rocky Bright. It's a first down for Norman now at the Union 29.
I think you're going to see, as Rocky Wright comes off, Union doing a lot of grabbing here. They need a turnover. This defense wants off the field, and they're going to do a lot of grabbing to try to get this ball to pop out.
2:58 to go, third period, 42-28, but here come the Tigers. Brave, brave game tonight from Crew Knowles. He has been pounded here, the Norman quarterback, but he continues to compete. There we go. They reset the game clock, so the officials are happy, and we're ready to roll. Knowles has Johnson to his right, hands to Johnson, and he's forward for about another 9. Really doing a good job up front right now is this Norman offensive line. They're going to give him 8. We'll call it 8, and it'll be second down and about 2. And you're talking Tucker Cook and some of the guys making tackles, but 6-7 yards downfield.
Yeah, and that's his average, 7-8 yards a carry all year long. That has come true tonight for Anthony Johnson, number 7. We called it out before the game. Those two guys in the backfield for Norman, the best players on this team, and they are showing up for the playoffs.
They have 32 of the 38 touchdowns this year for the Tigers. Knowles wants to throw. Fires left side, got a man wide open and overthrows him. And that's why they don't throw it a lot. Joseph Braggs-Knox was wide open in the end zone. There was nobody within the zip code. Closest guy to him out there was, I believe, that was Jeremiah Jones.
Maybe Maxey was back there? It's hard to tell.
That's a 31. No, maybe you're right. Maybe it was Dallas Maxey. But he was beaten, and it turns out to be 3rd down and 2 as the Tigers continue to try to get that first down. Knowles has got it. Here he goes again. He has the first down inside the 15. A little play fake. Johnson got him down to around the 13. It'll be a first down right there. Oliver Smith on that tackle. And with 2 minutes to go and counting in this third period, wholesale changes for the Redhawks.
This fourth quarter can't come fast enough for Union. They need a breather. This defense needs a breather as big Terrence Evans comes on. Number 93, remember him.
Tay Perry's going out to play safety. You think this isn't something where these players want to get after it? Tay's a senior, and he does not want this to be his last night. 1st and 10 now at the 13 of Union. Johnson dropped the football, but he was able to pick it up again. It was a direct snap to Johnson, a Wildcat, and he dropped it, but for Norman, it just bounced right back into his hands. So they lost 4, and it'll be 2nd and 14.
Looks like Tucker got caught in the bottom of the pile there, got really landed on hard. He's bouncing up, looking good right now. But, boy, that's exactly what Union needed. It's what we were talking about, fumbling. Last week, one of the reasons that they lost to Bixby, they had 5 turnovers, and it was a turnover fest for Norman. Union needs a turnover right here.
So it'll be 2nd down and about 14. They'll need the Union 3 for the first down. Under a minute to play, third period, a 2-score lead for Union, 42-28. Knowles will give to Johnson. No, Knowles kept it, and he got swallowed. Knowles kept it, and Kane Brackney was in his lunchbox back at the 20-yard line, and we now are looking at a third down and more like 17.
Goodness, what a play. Kane Brackney, how many times have we called his name tonight? Started off kind of spying the quarterback, now lining up on the line. They're moving him all over the place. A versatile linebacker. He has been huge.
Knowles once again at the quarterback spot, and they're going to let this thing go and go and go, and now a flag. And that's going to go against Norman. First flag, I believe, of the second half.
5-yard penalty.
And that will back it up to the 25-yard line, and now we'll have a 3rd and 22. Again, this is not a great field goal kicking team, so they're likely to go for it no matter what, Dave.
Yeah, pardon me. Dejon Gaines pointing to Braxton Knox there. Knox was the 116, the wide receiver, false started.
Ball back at the 25. Again, they'll need the Union 3 for the first down. Knowles, who's only completed a couple of balls today, is standing at his 30 with Johnson to his right. Union showing a zone coverage. And now here comes the blitz. Knowles, if he breaks, has got some room, but he slips and almost falls down. And fortunately, he was being somewhat spied right there. And that was Rion Williams, who was able to drag him down right at the 23-yard line. So it's going to be 4th and 20. Nice job by Rion. That's going to end the third quarter. So at the end of 3, we've got a dandy. Union 42, Norman 28. They'll have a 4th and 20 when we come back here in the fourth quarter on the Union Sports Network.
Tonight, in the 88 first-round playoff games across our state, the 482-member schools of the OSSAA, along with the OSSAA Board of Directors and Gateway First Bank, pause to recognize and thank those men and women in our great state and across the country that have served in the armed forces. This date, established by President Woodrow Wilson in 1919, was set aside to honor those veterans of the First World War.
Veterans being honored here as we enter the fourth period at Union Tuttle Stadium. Playoff football in Oklahoma. Redhawks leading 42-28 over Norman, and the Tigers will have a 4th and 20. I'm Rick Horry with Dave Davis, Jeff Johns down the field too. And Dave, you got a feeling here, if you can get them off here, that not the game is in your pocket, but you certainly are going to make it a lot harder for Norman if you can just get them off the field here.
Certainly. I mean, this is a defense that's on their heels. The last 2 games, they gave up 54 to Mustang, 72 to Bixby. I mean, this defense has been in dire straits for Norman, and we are doing that on offense. Just getting the ball back here is absolutely huge. One thing they like to do, and I've seen them do this, even on 4th and longs, they love the design runs. They spread you out in a 3-by-2, and then they just run crew nulls. Even if it's a 4th and 20, don't be surprised if he's just going to take off here.
When I watched him pull his hat off, his helmet off right there as they got the quarter break, and he looks exhausted. 4th and 20 for the Norman. If they get the Union 3, it'll be a first down. Here comes the blitz. He throws it to the end zone, and that ball is incomplete. That was not a great throw. He was trying to go to Attic Sanders. And that was coverage out there by Castellanos. And Sanders actually might have had some room, but that ball falls just to the outside of his left hand, and Union takes the football. First stop of the second half for either team.
Boy, what a big deal for Union. So you get a little breather, and now you can get a big breather. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want another 50-yard touchdown because it'd be cool, but it'd be nice to take some more time off the clock for Union. And again, I'm not even saying if you break away, go down at the 5. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying it would be nice to get a nice extended drive here to give this defensive rest. That ball looked good out of his hand. Like you said, Rick, it was just wrong shoulder.
Rion Williams will be out there as one of those running back spots. Union going to their I call it the pyramid formation. They'll hand it off, and here goes Tay Perry, and here he goes. He's going to get past the 30. I think they'll mark him right at the 30. So he got 7. It'll be second down and about 3. They should credit that tackle to Cash Courtney. No, pardon me, to Mason Rosales. It's spelled M-A-S-Y-N, Mason.
It's interesting nowadays,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Also a guy who has played quarterback for Norman this year, one of many quarterbacks they've tried out.
I think everybody who's not an offensive line number has. Second down, and we're going to call it 3 for Union. They'll hand off, and here goes Rion, and he's going to be trapped in the backfield. He's taken down way back at the 25-yard line. And that was a really nice play. Norman brought Horace Valentine. They also brought Jaden Spencer, and those guys helped make the play, and it'll be third down now and about 7.
They've been in the backfield on us, and they've had some really successful run stops, but the difference is we've just been able to get away from them. We've been able to bounce it to the outside extremely successfully, and on that one, good job by Norman, but we have been able to break outside contain a lot tonight.
Need it here. Need the 33 for the first down. Union sitting at the 26-yard line. Taylor will have some time. Now he's going to fire it, and he's got Stone Turner. Stone makes the catch. He was hit before the ball got there by Attic Sanders, and it did not matter. He brought it in at the 40-yard line. There is a penalty flag down, though, and that might be another hold.
Looks like Dylan took a pop, too. He's been hit.
Offense, 10-yard penalty.
They are going to call the hold. That would have been a 26-yard play, or pardon me, a 16-yard play. Instead, it's going to back up, and Union will go all the way back to, where are they going to put the ball? I think around the 9. Nope, they're going to go with the 11. Now from the 11 to the 33, they're going to need 23 yards, 22.
Get a little chunk play here and make it interesting with Stone in the backfield punting. If you don't pick it up, you never know what happens with Stone.
10:32 to go in this game. Union up by 14, trying to hold on to the football. Taylor back. Here comes pressure. Dylan is going to fire it, and it'll be incomplete. He did the right thing. He had LJ out by the flat, but even if LJ makes that catch, probably not going to have the first down. So Dylan threw it away, and now, again, another stop. Both teams had not been stopped. Now both teams have been stopped, and the clock continues to go at 10:20. So Union leading 42-28 will kick it from their own 16-yard line.
Union found something defensively on that last drive, and one of the things is cleaning up penalties. Another thing is playing great coverage without pass interference and trying to slow down Anthony Johnson.
Stone Turner puts the foot to it. This one actually went backwards, and Stone picked it up. Stone is running that ball. I didn't see if it was touched. It hit somebody and went backwards.
Hit the back of somebody?
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Jeff, what'd you see?
It hit the back of a Norman Tiger helmet. So it came off his foot weird just off the side and drilled somebody in the helmet. Nice heads-up play by Stone, just trying to get something out of it because it was about to roll into the end zone.
Here's the replay.
Here's the replay. Yeah, smacks him in the head.
Line drive to 56.
Now with 10:06 to go in this game, leading 42-28, Union will have to defend Norman from their own 14-yard line, and that is the first really kind of faux pas for the Red Hawks today. Had some penalties, but not that kind of thing. Knowles again with Johnson. They'll hand it to Johnson. He tried to break the tackle right there by Brackney, and he cannot. Brackney and Castellanos have a hold of him, and somebody blow a whistle. This gets stupid. They allow that scrum to keep going. And look, I understand if there's forward momentum, but when you've got 16 guys involved in something like that, someone's going to get hurt.
Well, and Anthony Johnson's down right now. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just like, I don't understand that. We came out with the ball, obviously. Anthony Johnson's still on his feet, and now if you're Norman, I mean, I'd be furious. I mean, at this point, I mean, this is your number one offensive player.
I think it's just a cramp.
Yeah, that's what we hope.
I mean, we've gotten to that point with the tush push and all that garbage that they just let it, there's just never a whistle blown, and the kind of things happening inside those scrums, it's not pretty.
Yeah.
You don't want a video camera in there, and you certainly don't want your kids listening. But the other thing is somebody can get hurt like what we just had right there. Now, again, I think it's just a cramp. But I understand when the pile's moving a little, but someone blow a whistle a little sooner. And I'm not worried because it was Norman. I think the same thing would happen if it were Union. Once that pile's held up, blow the whistle. Let's go back and make the next play.
Anthony Johnson bouncing around. He looks just fine. Will have to come off for a play, obviously getting medical attention. So, I mean, right here, if you're Union, this feels like the ball game. This feels like the ball game. If you can pull this rabbit out of your hat after a busted punt and stop them with a 20-yard field position, this feels like the ball game right here.
It'll be 2nd and 6 for Norman High. Tigers got a 4-yarder there. So Knowles will once again be the quarterback, and for the first time tonight, somebody else will be his running back, and it will be Desmond Cooper. Knowles with 3 receivers, now motion. Knowles is going to run behind his running back, and Silas Cozart hit him, but then he got away. But he did not get away from the 2nd and 3rd, and he got nothing. Cozart held him up long enough, and then Brackney got there. I think Tucker got there. I think Marzette got there, and it's going to be 3rd and 6. Maybe he might have lost about a half yard.
You know, we talk a lot about how Union's defense in the 3rd quarter with all the big plays, Union's defense was looking worn out. Norman's defense was looking worn out. Our defense looks alive out there, and Crew Knowles is the one who looks like he's really getting worn and torn right now, number 2.
They will need the Union 4 for the first down. Will the Tigers? Motion there by Sanders. Knowles going to throw it to Sanders in the end zone, and he makes the catch over the top of, I think that is, that's Dallas Maxey. That was a really well-thrown ball, and the man in motion, Sanders, just ran straight up the field into the corner, and we are looking at a 42-34 game, and that unfortunate punt cost the Red Hawks 7.
Yeah, and just a little corner out there. They've tried that play 3 different times to different receivers. It hasn't hit, and it finally does when Norman needed it the most. And now just this 8-point game.
Maxey was not in terrible coverage, but that was the best ball of the night, no doubt, for Nolan. So the extra point coming up by Ian McKee. Not what I would call guaranteed. Good snap and hold, and that one is kicked right through the middle. And so we have 9 minutes to go in this game, and if I were you, I would stay right in my seat. 42-35 Red Hawks. They'll get it with a huge drive coming up next here on the Union Sports Network.
Less than 7% go on to play in college, and less than 2% earn a scholarship. But no matter the outcome of today's contest, 100% of the student athletes will benefit from the purpose of high school sports. Growing as people. Learn more at protectthepurpose.com. Select Commercial Group, part of Coldwell Banker Select, specializing in commercial real estate services in the state of Oklahoma. The team of David Roberts, Sarah Ferguson, and Scott Joe are skilled professionals poised to help you navigate the dynamic commercial real estate landscape with confidence. If you're looking to buy, sell...
Here at the Big House, the playoff round 1. Union leading 42-35 over the Norman Tigers. Rick Corey with Dave Davis, Jeff Johns on the sidelines. Jeff's been important tonight. He's always important, but there have been a couple of key things he's been able to point out for us as we continue on here.
Come to me when you get a second.
As a matter of fact, Jeff would like to talk again. Go right ahead.
Guys, Coach Graham was just talking to the officials a moment ago. The motion at the end of that play, Coach Graham believes that twice now they have been moving forward at the end of that motion play as this ball is fielded.
Tay Perry still doesn't have it. Now Tay has it, and here he comes. He's got room, 10, 15, Tay at the 20. He got back to the 24-yard lines, and that looked like a cartoon. The ball went over his head, bounced. He tried to pick it up, dropped it, circled around, picked it up again at the 1-yard line, and eventually was able to take it all the way out to the 24-yard line. That was a miracle. I don't know how that worked.
What do they say? The oblong ball bounces funny ways. He thought that was going out of bounds. That's the first thing. Then Tay is extremely frustrated with himself. That was a disaster, Rick. If you talk, you talk about the punt and then that. Tay just may have saved the game for Union right there on that.
He may have taken their bacon right there, and he went to the sidelines and kind of threw his arms up like, that shouldn't have happened. No, but you did a good job, young man. So 1st and 10, Red Hawks at their own 24. Now they just need to keep the football. Taylor will hand to Tay. Perry goes forward. Oh, and yes, there's a flag. But that flag comes from behind the offense. Tay got to the 30 for 6 yards. That's going to be a hold. But I always get a little curious when the referee who is behind the offensive line calls a hold, because he's not the guy who can see unless he saw somebody get his hands way outside.
And that flag came in quick. I mean, that was right now. So again, this is what we saw last week. Big runs by Tay being wiped out by holding, and Union has to recover. They've done it all night long, converting 4th downs and 50-yard plays and 60-yard plays. Another one they're going to have to overcome.
It'll be 1st and 20 for the Red Hawks, 8:42 to go, and they lead 42-35. Taylor has motion by Perry. He's going to throw to him really quickly. Oh, it's L.J. McGee, and he dropped the football, but I think that should be incomplete. That's exactly what they'll say. The motion came inside by Tay, and then they tried to swing it out to L.J., and he just dropped it. Didn't have it long enough for it to be a catch, and it was not backwards, so it's going to be 2nd and 20, and this is not going to be easy.
No, it's not. And that's something that it's interesting. So obviously in the NFL with replay, they let that play out and they let that go and let the guy pick it up. In high school, I like that. Hey, I like that. It's incomplete. Stop the ball. Good call by the head official coming in right there, stopping the play, and we're not going to let that one play out. It is incomplete.
Looks to me, yep, they are going to be in man coverage. So Union once again, well, looks like they may drop into a 2-deep zone now. Let's see what they do. Taylor has the ball, throws middle of the screen to here goes Stone Turner again, and he has the first down. Stone's still on his feet. Oh, but he stepped out of bounds. Stone didn't just get the first down. He got it easily on the middle screen and then stepped out right about the 43, and you saw him there tiptoeing like a ballet dancer down the sideline. Now watch this replay. A little pump fake, and then here he throws to Stone, and here goes Stone Turner just outrunning everybody. 42 yards on the play.
Right there. My goodness.
28 yards on the play, pardon me.
And they were taking away the intermediate routes on that one, and they didn't get the short route. And they did drop back into that zone, like you said, Rick, and left Stone wide open. Really nice play design by Zach Simmons.
It was. You might want to keep that one on your play call sheet. Up next is, wow, Tay Perry, and he got blistered, but he got to the 45-yard line. So he got a couple. And then coming in to try to take his head almost all the way off was Ashton Boyd. And it'll be 2nd down and 8. But watch the clock. It continues to tick at 8:03.
Up by 7. Both teams still have all 3 timeouts. Union needs to finish this one off here. You might be hearing this vuvuzela thing going on with banging. There's only about 30 students that traveled with Norman, but every one of them has a 100-decibel instrument on them.
Yes,
I mean, it is just wild. This small student section is making this ton of noise back here. The refs have actually already warned them.
That's exactly why I like high school football. They'll hand off to Tay Perry, and he'll get almost nothing. Tay, they may give him the line of scrimmage, but I'm not sure he really deserved that. Cash Kurtner was there again. Mason Rosales was there again, and it's going to be 3rd down and 8. But Union just overcame a 20-yard first down, so I don't think they'll have a whole lot of problem with this one. Let's hope not.
Yeah, it's like the 5-gallon buckets is what we were saying. They're all pounded on those buckets over there. The referees have warned them about making the noise. We'll see that. But it is loud out here for as few fans as they are in that student section over at Norman. But Jordan Abington, watch out for him. He just checked in.
Somebody went and bought a whole lot of buckets from Home Depot. 3rd down and 8 for the Red Hawks. Turner has time, throws deep. He's got a man out there, and that ball is caught, and here goes Stone Turner again. Cuts back to the inside, 10, 5, Stone, end zone, touchdown. 6 more for the Red Hawks. Tremendous job by that offensive line. Great patience by Dylan Taylor, and then number 8 just simply said, you can't cover me.
Oh, my. Tay Perry jumping in, too. He had nothing to do. Look, he just picks up a little block on the edge, allows Dylan just that extra time, basically just a screenplay, and Dylan Taylor is open every time. He has struggled this year getting open against some of the elite defensive backfields. Norman has a pretty good backfield. I'm here to tell you, these defensive backs are good for these Tigers, and Stone being open is no accident.
55 yards on the touchdown. Litchfield for the extra point. The score fest continues. That ball is up, and it's good. So with 6:40 to go, the lead extends again. Union now leading 49-35. Norman gets it next. We'll see if we continue to run a roulette wheel here on the Union Sports Network.
And Union Touchdown is proudly sponsored by Whataburger.
Mason Rosales was the guy who was trying to catch Stone Turner, and Stone would have none of it. 55-yard touchdown, the extra point good, 6:40 to go in this football game, 49-35 Union. Rick Corey with Dave Davis, and of course Jeff Johns here at the big house at Union Tuttle. They hope to be able to light it up red as soon as we're done. I'm not certain we're going to have any trouble picking our player of the game.
No, I mean, it's Stone. Stone has 228 in a 4-touchdown game. That was the UConn game where he had 10 catches, 228 and 4 touchdowns. He's got to be darn close to that right now. I do know that Dylan Taylor's high is 4 passing touchdowns and 268 yards. He's already got 300 easy right now. Career night for Dylan Taylor and maybe Stone too.
Litchfield puts it in the end zone. Norman will go at their own 20-yard line. I feel sorry for the dude who was down there doing the push-ups in the Spider-Man outfit. I mean, good for you that you can wear the Spider-Man outfit. I once asked somebody if they had that in the 2X, and they said no. But he did a nice job. Down to Jeff.
You talk about career nights. Kane Brackney is actually, from what I am hearing, close to breaking the tackle record for a single game for Union.
All right, we'll go do some more research on that, all right? Got, of course, Jeff Johns down on the field.
And right there in the hallway, they have all the records written on the locker room hallway. It's pretty cool how they try to keep those traditions alive. And, boy, you talk about Rick. Kane Brackney was not in this state last year. He was in Denver, Colorado, and moving here with his dad because he liked Antonio Graham. What a difference 6 months makes. I mean, my goodness, Kane has been all over.
1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 20. Once again, Crew Knowles back to throw. Knowles being chased. He got away from one. Now he's going to throw it to the sidelines, and it's going to go well over the head. Intended receiver, which was Cole Baden. Heckard had coverage, and Knoll had really nowhere to go with that when they chased him around like a dog with a pork chop.
Great job by Rion, just chasing him around. Also, I wanted to shout out, like you mentioned, Gary Heckard on the coverage. He's been frustrated tonight, and I know there's a lot of things that haven't gone his way, but staying disciplined and staying home on that receiver and man, absolute key.
Absolutely. 2nd and 10 now. Knowles will hand it off to Johnson. He breaks free again. Here goes Johnson. He's being chased, and he will not go all the way. He's going to go down around the 41-yard line. Thank you, Oliver Smith. But point of attack blocking again by Norman, fantastic. And they take it all the way to the Union 40-yard line, and they'll have another first down.
And you want to talk about career nights. I mean, I don't know the record book for Norman, but is he close to 300? 300 rushing yards for Anthony Johnson?
He's got to be.
I mean,
that's a 30-yarder right there.
Unbelievable.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 40 of Union. Knowles is going to go again himself, and he breaks contain. Knowles is out in the open, and he's going to get hit and go down. 2 Union players hit him. One of those was Gaines. The other guy was Castellanos, who was also being chased by Cozart, and he goes down to the 14-yard line. And here we go again.
Getting into that 3rd level, Dejon Gaines saves it with a shoestring tackle. If not for Dejon, I think Crew's still going.
26 yards on that run, and Knowles, who seemingly is the Energizer Bunny, continues at that quarterback spot in a tough position, now at the Union 14. Knowles, I think there's going to be a timeout. Maybe it's another one of those equipment issues.
Okay, sending off Oliver.
And once again, coming in will be Julian Williams. Got to have your knees covered, and they will call you on it if you don't. 5:30 to go in this game. Union up 14, but Norman threatening again now at the Red Hawk 14-yard line. Crew Knowles with Johnson to his right. Hands to Johnson. Again, breaks contain. Johnson won't get away from Tucker Cook, though, and he'll go down around the 7. It's a good run of 7 yards, but anytime you can keep them out and make that clock tick, that's a good play.
At some point, if you have a 250, 300-yard-a-game running back like Anthony Johnson, slowing him down is enough, and keeping that clock going is enough. Just slowing him down, anything helps at this point.
Crew Knowles being the runner he is, it's basically a wildcat. And here he goes again. Knowles breaks a couple of tackles, but he'll go down at the 5. He's not going to quite have the first down. Brackney helped drag him down. And let's see who else was back there. I think Rion was also back there. And it's going to be 3rd down at about 1 as the clock continues to tick now at 4.5 to go in the game.
Inching closer to that Union single-game tackle record. Another one for Kane.
Knowles, they're going to snap this one directly to Johnson, and they do. And he runs straight up the middle. He got the first down, but did not get in the end zone. He's down at the 2, but again, every time that happens, another 20 to 30 seconds runs off the clock.
Norman's not a hurry-up team. I mean,
No.
even if with their running, they're not a hurry-up offense.
They cannot do that, no. They'll hand to Johnson again, and he will be stacked up. He lost about a yard. Marzette was there. Cozart was there. Inside, I think also, that was Dallas Maxey also there. And again, look at the number. Now the clock's at 3:56. They are making them work for this.
Tay Perry checking in. Wholesale changes, a line change for the Union defense, getting fresh bodies.
This will be a straight run up the middle, and Knowles got nowhere. He lost about a half yard. Demarion Edison is the guy who helped make that tackle. Also in there making that tackle was Demario Marzette. Jeff?
Dave, you talked about wholesale changes. This is a formation that they call, or a personnel grouping they call gorilla. These are the strongest guys that they can get on the defensive side of the ball, and they are showing it right now.
So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This time Knowles will get in the end zone, but they did what most teams should do, and that is actually don't run in the middle where everybody is. Run to the outside a little bit. They got him in the end zone. But the clock says 3:10, and they got down here at about 5. So you got another minute 50 off the clock by making them work for it. But it will make it a one-score game again, depending again on a very important extra point coming up right here from Ian McKee.
Really, really patient run by Crew Knowles, a guy who is absolutely exhausted, can barely breathe out there. We had the gorilla formation. We had what we wanted, and he was just patient. He got a hole, and he hit it.
That young man is going to need a massage on the bus. Whew. McKee on for the extra point. Good snap, good hold. That kick is up, and it is good. So 3:10 to go, and Union holds everything in their hands. They lead 49-42. They're going to get the football, and if they can keep it, they can put this game on ice. We'll see when we come back here on the Union Sports Network. Well, this is what playoff football is all about here at the Big House. That's Union Tuttle Stadium for first round 6A1 high school playoff time. Union leading 49-42 over the Norman Tigers. These two combining for what has got to be 500 or 600 yards of offense, at least, and probably more, as it's a 7-point lead. Redhawks will get the football after Norman just scored. Now, the one thing to watch, will they onside kick here? Ian McKee does not kick it deep terribly well. He's had some spot kicks, but you have to worry about everything right here, Dave.
Yeah, Norman, I'm absolutely onside kicking it. They can't stop us any way, shape, or form in the defense. I think they have to onside kick it. I'd be shocked if they didn't here.
Union has everyone up close, but there is a bit of a gap over just about the right side. Now here comes McKee. He's going to actually pop the thing up in the air, and it's going to have to be gotten to by a Red Hawk player. It's on the ground. Union falls on it. Oh, that was dangerous. I think it was Maxey who tried to get to it and could not. It went all the way back to the 14, and fortunately, Pat Thompson fell on it, and the Red Hawks will have it there at their own 14-yard line. So now, Dave, obviously, no offensive mistakes.
No, everything is about ball security at this point. They know what we're going to do. We're going to try to run out the clock, make them burn all their timeouts. They understand that. They've had a lot of success against our running game. But again, I mean, Tate Perry, he's almost has 200 yards. We've talked a lot about number 7. Tate Perry has got to be darn close to 200 yards rushing night. So just man on man. And shout out to Pat Thompson. He saved an extra point earlier by the snap right there, just saved a huge onside kick. Pat Thompson is playing awesome tonight.
Both teams had 403 yards of total offense at the end of the third period. So, yeah, they're going to be over 500. McGee moves to the left, grabs the football, and he got smoked. LJ got hit right in the hole. Oh, boy. I think LJ lost about 3, and that is not LJ's fault. There was just a kind of a jailbreak. Holzer was there and one other player, and it's going to be 2nd down and 13.
Selling out for the run. Norman keeping the timeouts in their pocket here as the clock continues to go.
Both teams have 3 timeouts left. I'm a little surprised. Now, Norman, if Union gets a first down, they are definitely starting to call their timeouts at that point.
Right.
Redhawks will take as much time as they can. We're at 2:31 off the clock. And there goes Stone Turner, and I guarantee you everybody in that white jersey is looking at him. He'll hand off, and nowhere to go for Tay Perry. And that is a fantastic tackle in there by Oakley Carruthers. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 13 or 14, and there Norman does call the timeout with 2:16 to play. So even if you don't get it, Dave, the only thing you can't have is what happened on the last punt when Stone unfortunately kicked somebody in the head. Well, the ball kicked somebody in the head. As long as you get it away, you've got a shot. But it would really be nice to get this first down.
And don't be surprised. I know it's a clock management game. Selling out to the run, what do? What have they been doing all night? They've been selling out to the run, and Dylan Taylor has dropped back, kept the ball, and popped it open to wide receivers. Don't be surprised. I know it's a risk. We're stopping the clock. But he has beat this sellout blitz all night. Dylan Taylor, that's what he's been feasting on. Anything's open here, and Zach Simmons, offensive coordinator, has been calling an awesome game. This is where you make your money right here, closing out a playoff game. How do you close a Norman Tiger team out who's a really good team?
And I think Dylan Taylor has proved in the last half of the year that he's matured enough to hopefully not put the ball in danger. The other thing is to point out is this offensive line has done a magnificent job of keeping that blitz from getting to Dylan. He's had to move and shake and roll a little bit, but not very much. So 3rd down and around 14. Union's going to be at their own 11. They need the 24-ish. We'll call it about 13 and a half. 4 wide receivers for Taylor. And he claps to the hands, and Norman jumps off sides. So it just got a little easier.
A little more breathing room.
3rd down and about 9 and a half. Probably won't necessarily change much of the play call, but it does make it a lot easier. If Union gets this first down by 5 or less, big deal.
Yeah, because Norman now has the 2 timeouts left. And, of course, there's no 2-minute warning. Clock stops on the reset, but there's no 2-minute warning in high school. So this is absolutely the ball game, feels like right here.
3rd down. Union, again, needs the 24. Taylor, back to throw. Time, middle of the field. Caught, Stone Turner, 1st down. And all Stone has to do is go down, and he does. At about the 27-yard line. Again, number 8 makes him look silly, just running around by himself out there, and it's a 1st down for the Redhawks, and now Norman, once again, has to call timeouts. Okay, they just called their 2nd.
Norman calls their 2nd.
So a 2:05 to go. Union will snap it. They'll be able to run time off the clock. Norman will call another timeout, and that will be it. And then on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th downs, if choose, they can run off about 40. And that's going to be really close to running this thing out.
Yeah, trying to do the math here. If you get it down to 1:20 left, that will be it.
Yep.
1:20 is your magic because that's 2:40 seconds. And Union can do it. I mean, look at this. 3rd and long, 3rd and manageable. Whether it's 3rd and long, 3rd and manageable, we've actually been better picking up 4th downs tonight. But we'll take the 3rd down on that. And it's when you have a career night like Dylan Taylor, over 300 passing yards and 4 touchdowns, and Stone Turner, he's going to end up having a career night. This is when you need it. It does 2 things. It advances in the playoffs, the most importantly, but it gives your offense confidence. If you can close out this game, hey, hanging 49 on Norman going into the Bixby game, you're at least feeling like something is going right. But long way away, this game has to be closed out.
I've been looking for the Bixby coaching staff. I know they're here tonight. Coach told me they'd be here, Coach Lauren Montgomery, but I haven't seen them. 1st and 10. They'll hand off to LJ, and here he goes. LJ across the 35 to the 36 to the 37. LJ to the 38, and that's another 1st down. And that, my friends, is going to get really close to doing it. Norman will call the timeout, but with that other 1st down, you are going to get so close to being able to run this thing out. So the Redhawks offensively, and I just looked at the 3rd quarter stats. They didn't have number of catches or receiving yards for Stone for some reason. But anyway,
yeah, I think it's cut off. The printer cut it off,
yeah.
Yep.
So we'll see once we get to postgame and see if we can actually get it working. But Stone Turner's had a career night. There's no doubt about that. And Jeff just texted up and said, who do you want for player of the game? Well, I mean, you could pick Dillon, you could pick Stone, you could pick the offensive line, you could pick Brackney, you could pick Heckard for running guys down when they're wide open. You could pick a lot of different guys, but Stone Turner has been nails and has helped Union win this football game unquestionably.
I think it's Stone because of the special teams element. He's had some nice punts when he's needed to. The one mistake, but returns. Remember that kickoff return? He cuts in front of his return man. You're thinking, no, 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 yes. It's the classic no, 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 yes move, which was a game breaker. And Stone himself has converted 2 fourth downs, the fourth down touchdown run and the 4th and 5 fake punt. It's all about Stone tonight. He has been phenomenal, and not taking away from anything else, but Stone just felt like he says, I'm going to win this game for us tonight.
And now Union in the victory formation, they will just kneel this thing out. No timeouts left for Norman. So they'll snap it, and they'll kneel. And they do. And so with a minute 54, that'll go down to about a minute 14. Union will do the very same thing. And then we'll go down inside that 30-second range, and then that'll be that. So the Red Hawks are going to hold on and win this football game, barring a Joe Pisarcik, New York Jets, and New York Giants ridiculous fumble that happened all those years ago. And I do not see that happening, but I shouldn't have even said that, should I?
No, we're fine. It was so many years ago, Rick. Nobody remembers. We're all good.
I remember.
Only you. Only you.
Joe Pisarcik remembers because he's the guy who dropped the football. And then Herm Edwards returned it for a touchdown.
Oh, boy.
And there is the kneel and none of that.
Yeah, you can't get a penalty. That's the other thing. You cannot get a penalty
and
here.
You just got one.
Yeah.
Because one of the players, Kingston Whittam, came flying in. Dillon was already down, and he started to try to smack Dylan Taylor, and Luke Wood went nope and smacked him. But I think they got Luke, and this is kind of like
unsportsmanlike conduct against the
that really should be against both teams. I understand they caught the second guy because that's the way it works, but that should not have been against him.
Yeah, loss of down, clock stops. I mean,
that's the big deal. The clock
hate
stops.
That. Yeah. You hate that. And that was what I was going to say. I mean, the Pisarcik thing, good point. Penalties. I mean, just the game's over. The game's over if you keep your cool. And I understand you're trying to protect your quarterback, but the game's over if you keep it cool.
Yep. At this point, if you kneel it again, you're only going to get it down to probably 30 seconds,
right.
35 to go, and you're going to have to probably kick the thing away.
Norman has the option to start the clock on the snap. They have chosen that option.
Yeah, of course they're not going to start the clock before the snap.
Yeah, good call on that one. But yeah, so right here, I mean, takes the opportunity to do the victory formation and end the game. You still have to defend a punt here. And again, no more penalties. Cannot be another penalty here. Keep the cool and take it down to 30 seconds.
Abington is the man who's very deep here, and Taylor takes another knee. And so that was about a minute 8 to go. So you'll run it down to in the 35, 36 range, and then Union will have to kick this football away.
Crew Knowles going to be the return man back there. He's back there alone, and we're thinking, as many hits as he's taken, he's looking very fresh running the ball. I mean, you'd think he'd be kind of limping around out there, but this is a tough guy. And all these runs, he has looked really good, has not had a lot of limping at all tonight. And when you talk about him being back there, it's scary. I mean, it's scary having to punt it back there to him as Antonio Graham going to take this timeout.
And I would imagine they're going to come after this punt as well. So timeout taken with 27 on the clock. The Red Hawks will have to kick it away with 27 to go. And yes, Knowles is absolutely dangerous. And this is where, we talk about special teams coaches always saying it's a third of the game, but nobody practices it for a third of the game, which you really can't. But Coach Graham told us early on before the season, guys, I'm putting more time into special teams. I'm giving John Davis more time. I want to make sure that we are good in special teams and we're not losing games that way. And nobody notices a kicker or a snapper or a holder until they lose a football game.
Yep.
And it happens every day all around the country, and I think taking that extra time is huge.
Well, you look at tonight. I mean, Pat Thompson taking down a bad snap, somehow getting it down on that when we scored 41. Remember that. The extra point went off the upright and in. In a game like this, when you're kicking it to Crew Knowles, remember that extra point. That was a lot of Pat Thompson and a lot of Gavin Litchfield just squeaking it in there. And here we go. This is it.
Turner will kick it away. Logan Haney will be the up back. Crew Knowles will stand around his own 45-yard line. And again, that young man, he and Johnson both need to have hot tubs on the way home. Not an easy drive to get to Norman anyway from here. 27 seconds to go. Need a good snap and a good punt. Snap's a little high, but Stone got it. Puts the foot to it very low. Nolan, nope, he's not going to be able to get to it. Crew Knowles could not. He backed up initially, and by the time he started back forward, the ball had already kind of died, and it's going to go to the 46-yard line of Norman. And with 16 seconds to go, the Tigers will have at least 2 and maybe 3 plays left. And remember, Crew Knowles has had one really good throw tonight, but it's not his game.
Yep, and they have no timeouts, so everything has to be out of bounds or incomplete if you are the Norman Tigers. The other thing right there, just remember that. Stone Turner, that was an 11-second punt play. That's exactly what you needed, and our guys didn't jump on it. They knew Knowles wasn't going for it, and they just let it die dead. 11-second punt play.
And remember, Anthony Johnson can score from long as well, and he has. And anytime you're playing deep in a situation like this, they break that first line, they can go too. So here we go. Union's going to be in definitely a two-deep zone, and they'll have extra guys back. Knowles rolls to his right. Now he's going to run it. Knowles being chased, and he's just going to throw it out of bounds. Threw it right to one of the Union coaches who made a nice snag right about the 37-yard line. We're down to 8 seconds, and this should be the last play of this game.
Dropping everybody.
Outside the pocket, no foul for intentional grounding.
Yeah, he was. They wanted intentional grounding. You're not going to get it. He had gotten outside the pocket.
Incomplete.
Knowles, it was smart of Knowles. He wasted any more time, this game could be over.
Yeah, if he starts running it and you don't make it to the out of bounds, exactly. One inbounds tackle ends this game. An incomplete pass, you maybe live to see another day if you're Norman. One inbounds tackle ends it.
So for these seniors, the last game they will play here hopefully will be a playoff win. Here we go. Crew Knowles. Straight back. He's going to fire it middle of the field, and that ball is caught. And then breaking a tackle and breaking another tackle was Preston Bobbitt, but it didn't matter. That ran out the clock, and Union has won. Bobbitt made a nice play. There's also, by the way, a flag down. If this is a defensive penalty, no, it's not. It's a hold. It's a hold. So this football game is over. Bobbitt made a nice catch, but once he made the catch, he took off running, which it was really the only shot he had. And once he got tackled, the football game was over. So the Red Hawks win 49-42. The two teams will meet, shake hands. Union will go immediately into the locker room where Antonio Graham will speak to them. They'll come back out, and Jeff will talk to both Coach Graham and Stone Turner, who is our hot tub player of the game and our player of the game. So the Red Hawks will go to Bixby next week and play the Spartans. And as you said, I don't know whether you call it a privilege or what.
I said the right to play Bixby.
It's a playoff game. Yeah. They're all a privilege. So let's take it that way. This is a really good football team. They're unbeaten. We all know that. But again, you play them on the field. You don't play them on paper. So let's go get after them and see what happens.
And we look at it from the outside and we see, 50-point victories every week. I got a feeling these guys want to play Bixby. I got a feeling these guys are going to be ready to get out there and mix it up with a team that nobody thinks they're going to beat next week. I think that's exactly what this underdog mentality, a 4-6 regular season record. They play a tough competition, but they go out there and win. They close out this Norman team, score 49 points on them. I think they're ready. I think they're going to be ready to get out there and just give it their all.
Anytime you're a senior and it might be your last game, that's going to be the case. And you got to give a lot of credit to Norman for hanging in there and playing so well offensively. Obviously Nolan, their quarterback, and then Johnson, their running back. Both those guys so good here tonight.
What I loved about what we did is it was the classic Ben Knight break. 300 yards for their running back, and I understand that. But Kane Brackney never quit. There was never any hang-dogging. There was never any, hey, we can't stop them and give up. No, Gary was engaged the whole night despite giving up some big plays. Kane Brackney was engaged. Silas Cozart, I thought, looked great out there. All of our linebackers, and that's what I like going into next week at Bixby is our linebacker core. I'd put them up against anybody.
If Heckard doesn't make that rundown play, we're talking about a different football game.
Yes.
There are a lot of different plays here. You go back to Stone's fourth down. But Heckard's effort play, and they ran down Johnson a couple of times out in the open, to either make drives extend and take more time or to just save a drive because of a fumble or that kind of thing. This has been it's been one of those games where you did everything you needed to do to win. You didn't run away. You had 2-score lead a lot of times. But everything you needed, you were able to accomplish. The only faux pas was the punt that hit a player in the helmet.
Yeah, I mean, almost a perfect game. I think, especially offensively, I think the other thing that really jumps out to me is there weren't a lot of turnovers. I mean, this margin for error was so thin, and you're thinking, gosh, at that 8-minute turnaround where they score at the end of the second, at the beginning of the third, we're up 28-14 against a slow-paced running team. I'm thinking, okay, here we go. Well, the scores keep coming, and we have to keep keeping up and keep ahead and keep focused. I was so impressed with Dylan stepping in and making those throws to Dewberry, to Stone Turner. He made some tough, really, really good throws tonight when we couldn't run for 300 yards. We had to have a balanced attack, and we were able to do that because of Dylan Taylor's confidence. 7
touchdowns for Union out of 10 drives, 3 punts. You go to Norman, you got 6 touchdowns, and they had a fumble in there as well, and they had a punt, and then and they had the half, end on them. But these two offenses, I mean, they held court. There's no doubt about it. They hung in there. They did their jobs, but it's a win, and that's what really matters. And when you're talking about, look, I know there are people who are going to be leaving. There are seniors who are not going to be back. Nobody knows who's going to move in or move out of any district in football anymore. I mean, you have to have a roster no matter what. Last week for us at University of Tulsa down at Florida Atlantic, they had 72 new players, 72 guys who just had not been on that football team before. I mean, for goodness sake, not quite like that here in high school, but guys are going to move around. But what you do know is if you can have and establish some momentum at the end of the year with a Kane Brackney coming back and with a Dylan Taylor coming back and guys like that, maybe you can just set yourself up for a better season, a regular season.
And you have to have that as Antonio Graham living in this day and age, convincing these guys to come back. And, you look at some other juniors. Ian Castellanos, he's a junior. Pat Thompson, love to have him back next year. Rocky Bright. And, again, there's still plenty of football to be played. But just mentioning what is going on here, Victor Vasquez, somebody who Coach was super high on the offensive line. We're a young team, and this year has been the first starting experience for even some of these seniors out here are inexperienced seniors that we have started. So any experience that we've gotten this year is good, and next year is just fun. It's going to be fun to see who chooses to come back, sticks with this program, and sees what happens. But, of course, we ain't done yet in Bixby, at Bixby. Next week, we've had fantastic weather. I'm not going to jinx it. We've had fantastic football weather all week. I haven't peeked ahead to next Friday, but can't wait to see what happens in that second-round playoff game.
All right, players are starting to come back out, so we should have our guys here in just a second. Here we are being handed some final stats right here. So we'll take a look. And here we have Stone Turner with, is that 400? And I can't really read that.
14 for 224.
Okay.
And 2.
I think that's, well, I don't know. Let's get down to Jeff. He's got, we'll try to figure it out. He's got Coach Antonio Graham. Go ahead, Jeff.
Coach, obviously just a really hard-fought victory against a good Norman team that took it down to the wire. Tell me what about the fight in your guys tonight?
Man, they just didn't quit, man. I couldn't be more proud of them. That's a great football team that we just played against. And, man, hats off to that tailback, dude. He's a stud. And then, I'm sure he'd be playing on Saturday somewhere, man. But that's what playoff football is all about, and it's going to be like that from here on out.
Stars stepped up, but also Dylan Taylor, the evolution that he's made, hitting those deep balls again and again and again, and hitting a guy that we've got for player of the game tonight, Stone Turner, who was all over the field.
Man, those dudes made plays, man. And Dylan, I felt like he grew tonight, and he's growing up right in front of our eyes, man. Couldn't be more proud of those guys.
How long do you celebrate before you go in and focus? Do you go straight in and start watching film?
I'm going to enjoy this one for about 10 hours, and I'll be hard at it at 8 o'clock in the morning ready to go.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff. And he'll have Stone Turner here in a few minutes. Stone may be tired enough that he's just laying down in the locker room. All right, we got right back to him. Go ahead, Jeff.
Guys, I've got Stone Turner here. Stone, heck of a game tonight. I think I saw you in the stands passing out popcorn at some point. What do you not do out here?
I mean, I do everything. Come on.
Talk about Dylan Taylor and the way that he's been able to help out, getting the ball to you in better ways and putting you in better positions tonight, really leading you on just about every reception you have.
Yeah, man. Dylan's just had a great season. He's gotten so much better game on and on. It's been great, and he had a great game tonight.
Talk about the fight that you had. There were a few plays in there where you were really having to get after it, and especially on this kickoff return where you ran right in front of Dejan to go lay the hit on somebody.
Yeah, I kind of missed him, but yeah, just got a block.
Obviously, Bixby up next week. What does that kind of game mean to you?
Man, we got to lock in this week. I mean, they're top ranked in the state, and we're gonna go give it our all.
Awesome, great job tonight. Thank you very much.
Man, a few words, Stone Turner, but of a lot of yards. As a matter of fact, speaking of yards, in this game, 532 total yards for Norman, 508 for Union, 1,040 total yards of offense here. So as Coach said, he'll celebrate it for about 10 hours, but Antonio's a defensive guy. So when you give up 532, it's gonna probably bother you a little bit. But we've seen some. I thought Knowles and his performance tonight was just downright brave. Same thing for Stone. We saw some really fine players in what is a really good football game tonight.
You like that you know you can win shootouts, because if it comes down to that with Bixby and you can somehow solve that defense, you like that you can put up 49 and do that in a season where you've been shut down a couple times. In Edmond Memorial, it looked like that offense, we were struggling. And now Dylan Taylor, 20 for 25. Boy, you love that efficiency and accuracy. That Dylan Taylor needs to be at Bixby next week.
All right, some finals from around the state and other playoff action. Edmond Memorial beat Edmond North 20-0. The Norman North Timberwolves, they beat Edmond Huskies probably. Norman North lost to Mustang tonight 42-17. And let's see who else here. UConn went ahead and beat Deer Creek by a score of 24-7. So as Dave said, off to Bixby next week. I've only been there one time. Dave will be with you next week. I will not. I'll be at West Point with University of Tulsa at Army. But I will be watching and I will be listening because it should be a lot of fun. This is a really good Bixby team, but there's a reason you play it on the field. So for Andy Irwin and the Union Sports Network crew, for Jeff Johns on the sidelines, for Christine Stigler, who was here helping us with the numbers, and for Dave Davis, I'm Rick Corey. Good night from Union Tuttle Stadium, where the Red Hawks win 49-42. Let's light it up red.